All right, well, don't ask me why I did this. I don't know why I did this, but thank you for listening to another episode of Full Buddy Cast. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if you've ever been with your friends and you get jamming, you get talking, you get like just, could be at the bar, could be over at a friend's house, poker night, whatever, and just stories start to erupt and you're feeding off each other, and it's actually really like fun. And you always kind of at the end of the night, you're like, man, I wish we could have recorded that or something like that. And it's one of those times where people kind of sometimes hear something new. And so this is the longest episode that we've ever done. Almost 2 hours long. Adding this in, it probably is 2 hours long. This is not meant to be a regular thing. I don't know if it's going to be or not. I was kicking around the idea of like calling it Garage Night. I think that's what Corey and Craig do. They have a garage night where it's like guys come over, they have some beers. In this episode of Full Buddy Cast Fantasy Football, which turns into Garage Night, it's Craig and Corey Bentley brothers that went to school with me and did a little work, Safeway together. Also, we had a buddy, Kyle Pierce, KP, and he's played softball with them before in the past. They've got some like stories that I've never heard before. In fact, there's one story that Kyle's never heard before, which is pretty funny. So in this episode, it's just going to be talking about what started out as fantasy football and waiver claims during COVID, and then we start talking about some softball. Next thing you know, we're talking about former teammates. We're talking about golf. We're talking about marriage, and talking about wives. We're talking about anniversary. We're talking about nicknames, and it just turns into everything. And so I was like very tempted to make this a two-parter, but instead I'm like, you know what? I'm going to release the whole dang thing. If people want to listen to it in their own leisure, they can. This is not something to be dissected, to sit down. This is something to throw it in the car and listen, and 15 minutes you're at your destination, throw it off. That's fine. Pick it back up whenever. It's pretty funny for me. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I laughed again. But it's not like comedian ha 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 funny. It's like you feel like you're sitting down having a beer with these guys. Like that's, at least I did, and that's what I did do. But it's like you're sitting down, hearing some stories, and you're just kind of like you're just observing. It's fun. I enjoyed it. Again, this is not going to happen all the time, but just picture yourself, poker night, garage night, hanging out with your friends and just talking about all sorts of things. Thanks so much for listening. Go hit up Cole Street Brewery in Enumclaw, Washington. Go hit up Bordeaux Wine Bar. Go hit up Mazatlan. Hit up the Patreon page. We are on Spotify. We are on iHeartRadio. We are in Podcast Addict, Deezer. We're everywhere you want to be. In fact, YouTube, we don't have videos, but YouTube's there if you want to subscribe. If some people like to throw the YouTube app on instead, it's actually a lot better connection for some of them. So that's what they do. Anyway, appreciate every single one of you guys. Thanks so much. Have a great week.
Football. Fantasy. Football. Fantasy. Football, fantasy, football, fantasy.
Yeah, but the port is all blown out.
Did you blow on it like the old Nintendo?
Yeah. Yes, I did. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening to another episode of Full Buddy Cast Fantasy Football. Now, this is not the Stardom Situm, all that. That's what we do on Sundays. This is just we're sitting down with the fantasy football people. We talk about leagues. We talk about what we like about leagues in case that you're in your own. You guys, we're averaging about 50 downloads every Sunday morning, though. People are listening Sunday morning. They want to know what we're talking about. They're just not commenting. They're not sending us stuff. But we're averaging 50. That's pretty good.
I just need to send questions.
Yeah, send questions.
That or let us know if you're winning or losing.
Yes.
Because of what we say.
I would love to see that.
We're doing both. So.
Yeah.
And
And they're listening Tuesday morning just to see how big an idiot you guys are.
If you're doing that, let us know too. You're like, all right, let's just see if these guys know what they're talking about. Monday morning quarterbacks. Typically when we get into these, by the way, it's Craig Bentley. We got Corey Bentley brothers, and we got Kyle Pierce, KP. Been on the show several times. Mike on the mic. Have you been on any other shows besides Mike on the mic?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? And you weren't able to make...
I honestly don't know why you asked me to be on this one, because I have no idea about fantasy football.
What? Really?
Travis, let's talk about this, right?
Okay.
So,
all right. Let's get in. I like this.
I've always said that defense wins championships in fantasy football.
Yes.
Right, Travis?
Yes.
I'm always the lowest scorer.
You win.
And I'm always the lowest scored against. I've got a really good game manager at quarterback, and I've got a really good defense, and I seem to make the playoffs every year.
He does.
In the bottom half of the league in scoring.
Yes.
But I play really good defense.
Yes. He knows how to lull the other team to sleep. He does it. I don't know how he does it. He's a likable guy. That's what he is.
I scored 77 points. I don't know how your scoring is, but our league is probably got to score over 100 to win.
More like 120 to
Yes.
for sure get it. But yes.
I scored 77 points in 1 week and won.
Yeah. It's just that's the type of guy he is.
Yeah.
He puts out enough energy to get it done.
It's about how much energy I put into fantasy football.
As long as the number goes up in the W, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
4-2. 4-2.
So I misspoke last week, and I actually called Henry Level. We were actually talking the other day, and he said I could say his name because he wants full credit for this. And I was talking about the waiver claim that he did. Now, I did, and this is what put Kyle into the playoffs. Now, I didn't know that. I got this whole thing kind of mixed up when I told this story. So he kind of set me straight. I thought that he was bidding so that the other person couldn't get a kicker. But what he did, he did, but we had some people that weren't in our friend group. They were associates. We called them Cali 1 and Cali 2 because they lived in California. Now, we saw these guys maybe once a year at the draft, and they would be on the email chain and this and that. Well, Cali 1 was going against, I think you, and didn't have a kicker. And that's when Henry was actually last place, okay? And so we have a last place, I don't know if you guys have the same thing. We call it the Greg for various reasons that we're not going to get into, but you didn't want to get this. Have you ever got the Greg?
No.
I've never got it either, but you don't want to get it because you wear a belt, you got this, you get a picture. It's like the worst thing you can get is last place. And you guys may have your own punishments as well. But Henry was going to be it. And what he needed to do was have Tialdi lose. And if Tialdi lost, then Cali 2 would have been last place.
I don't remember it that way at all.
How do you remember it?
One of the guys quit the league because of that.
Well, because it kicked him out.
I don't know if I can say the name.
You can't, but he is a producer on the show. We just
Greg.
can't. Yes, the Greg. This is where the Greg came from, was because he was getting last place every year. but he was going to make the playoffs.
Yes,
that's what happened.
I lost.
If you lost, but so what Henry, out of his own pure selfishness, he didn't care if Kyle made the playoffs or not. He didn't care about anyone else's playoffs. Henry bid just so that Cali 2 would lose, and then he would get the kicker because Cali 2 did not have a kicker, and they were going into the Monday night game. So he spent all of his fantasy football auction money on it. Got the kicker, ended up Cali 2 lost, made Kyle win. Cali 2 lost, so now he's last place. So now Henry's not, and the guy that was on the bubble with Kyle, he got bumped out, and Kyle won. And that's why the guy quit the league.
That's how I win. That's how I win fantasy football games.
Now, did you talk to Henry about this at all while this was going on? Like, dude, could you go bid?
No,
dude,
zero.
It was all Henry
Yes.
figuring out. He's always good at this stuff. I don't know if you guys know who Henry Level is, but he loves figuring out like brackets and this and that and how rules work. And he exploited that rule like Bill Belichick, and he wanted full credit. I said, "Are you sure?" Because a lot of people are timid about their names being said. He's like, "Say my name, say my last name, and explain it right this time."
He's also the commissioner of our league.
He is the commissioner of our league, and his phone. I don't know. You're the commissioner. I'm a commissioner, but does your phone sometimes kind of go silent for like 4 hours? Or are you usually by your phone? If people send out a mass group text, are you usually quick to give an answer and explain a rule or anything?
It depends. If people text me about fantasy football, I'm usually pretty quick to respond. If you quick text me about life, I don't respond very quickly.
Well, Henry's the opposite. But yeah, so that's Kyle. Kyle, did you win that championship, or did you get in there and just completely just blow a gasket?
Is that the year that I won the whole thing?
I think it was the year you won the whole thing.
Yeah, it was a series of great events. Henry bid on the kicker.
Yeah.
Put me in the playoffs. First round of the playoffs, I played, I don't know if I can say his name.
Initials.
TB.
He's been on the show. We can say it.
Okay, I beat Tony.
Yeah.
It's a 2-round playoff, or a 2-week playoff. And Derrick Henry had a garbage time 80-yard touchdown run. Tony, who had the best team that year.
Oh, by far, yeah.
And I beat him on garbage time Derrick Henry run. And then I played Jamal in the playoff, or in the finals, and beat him.
Yeah.
In probably the lowest scoring finals ever.
Yeah, it was incredible. And it made a person quit. Have you had people quit out of just sheer frustration and like, I hate this league, you guys are idiots?
We haven't had anybody quit that way, but I have a good segue about our last place penalties.
Yeah.
As we're talking about
Sure.
it. So we have a couple different penalties. We call it the ass bowl and the ass penalties and stuff like that. And we've had it for years. One of the ass penalties is if you lose, yeah, that's what they're called. Your team name gets changed the next year by the champion. So you have to go the whole next year by the name. And since Kyle's sitting here,
that's great.
I'll tell the story. So there's Jaron Jokala plays in our league, and he plays softball with us. And Kyle used to play softball with us. He used to be our shortstop, and Jaron kind of replaced him, right? And so during softball seasons, we would always make fun of Jaron and tell him he was no Kyle Pierce, just all the time. He would get it from everybody. So the first year he took last place, Craig won the league and named his team name No Kyle Pierce.
That is the greatest fantasy football team name ever. Now, to be fair to Jaron like grew up playing baseball and played shortstop and all that stuff growing up. So he's probably actually a better shortstop than I am. But he's no softball shortstop.
And he actually lost again 2 years later. And his team name again was No Kyle Pierce Part 2.
How hilarious is that? No clue. I had no clue about any of that. And here we are sitting together. By the way, weird story. In our league, we have two brothers, me and my brother in it. And we had to change our team name to No Bentley Brothers. We're not like you guys. We're not dedicated like you guys. That's a joke that fell flat.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out if he was being serious.
No, absolutely not.
Because your brother's no longer in our league.
Oh, that's right. My brother quit that. Dude, we've had people quit in succession. Boom, boom, boom. One person, because he ended up hating us. He's still our friend, but he was just so frustrated with all of us. The second one was because he hated fantasy football, and it was all luck. And then I think my brother just was not wanting to be a part of it.
Do you know that story is because the one who quit the year before, who hates us now but loves us but hates us,
right? Yes,
and ruins all text threads.
Absolutely.
Drafted for the one who quit the year the next year, and it was the first time we had done an auction draft. Yeah.
Yes.
And the perpetrator decided that he was going to draft 3 quarterbacks, and then defended it afterwards.
Yeah.
And the other guy,
I think it
got ticked.
Yeah.
And hated his team and then quit.
Because it's all luck. And the thing was and we moved the draft to give the second guy who quit credit, Brandon Burt. We've said it all the time. He goes, you always say my name. Not only you have nicknames for everyone else. You say that maybe their first name. He says, you always say my first and last name. So Brandon Burt quit. And he would probably be even as excited as Henry level as saying, yes, please tell everyone I quit fantasy football because it is ridiculous. But Brandon, we had the draft scheduled on a one day, and then all of a sudden like 2 or 3 people couldn't make it. So we switched it, which he took the day off for, and he couldn't get this day off. So he put a provisional person in there that would do it. Now, this provisional person was the Greg of all these years. He's the one that first time auction drafting, and he thought he was going to get a little strategic. And what he would do was try to get other people to quickly give out their money faster.
He was bidding everybody up on everybody.
Yes. Well, then people would just bail at that point. Like, I'm not paying $7 for this quarterback. I'll wait on the next one. And then he's just like, crap. And that happened like 2 or 3 times.
He ended up with like Garoppolo
Stafford, I think he had Stafford too.
and like Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, it was just like, okay.
I think in 15 years, I've only seen somebody draft 3 QBs once.
Yes. The first time I ever played fantasy football, I was already thinking about trades. I had the 12th and 13th pick. Thought QBs were super valuable as well. I picked Peyton Manning and then Tom Brady. And I'm like, I'm a genius. I'm gonna flip one of these guys for a running back, and I actually ended up doing very well. I don't know how. I did very well. I think through like 6 weeks, I was in second place, and then that's when one of our buddies traded me everything for I thought it was a great idea. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting like 4 guys to my 2 guys. Well, he got my 2 best players, just made his team even stronger, and it started a dynasty, and or kept the dynasty going. That's our league, and that's where I got the nickname Lenny. Yes. Yep. So don't call me that. But I hate that name. But I made someone very mad who changed that name.
There are very well. That was a lie. There are a few people in the friend group that have side names or
few of them,
surnames
right,
or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah,
Travis is one of them.
I'm one of them.
Lenny Kenny, Greg.
I'm not the Greg.
No.
Oh yeah, Greg. Yeah.
And I think that's it.
It could be. Yeah, don't freaking call me the Greg. I get G Monty every once in a while too. But Lenny can only be said by a few people, and that's the thing. It's almost like having. This sounds.
You know this is gonna happen.
So here's the thing. I'll tell everybody real quick. I'm gonna show Travis this text I got about, I don't know, half hour ago, because people knew that I was gonna be recording here, and right there, one of Trav's listeners said,
"Tell Lenny hi for me." That's Brad, huh? Thanks, Brad. How does he know Lenny? Is it because he's listened before? Yeah. Cool. I've maybe told that story once and said Lenny, and now it's stuck. I'm shutting down this podcast.
It's going to stick, and the podcast is going to be hosted by Lenny now.
That would make that one guy very happy. Believe it or not. Now, only a few people can call me that. It's like probably someone who's. And I've actually told people who thought it was okay to tell me it. I'm like we'd get on the side, and I'd be like, never call me that name again. I don't ever want you to call me that. There's like 4 people I'll let people call me that. 4 or 5.
I don't even call you Lenny.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
It's easier to call him Travis.
Yeah, it is. It is, because that's my name. Do you guys have any nicknames? Now we're getting out of the closet here with nicknames. Is there any nicknames that you don't like being called?
Not that it wasn't me, but I remember being at a bar, and you remember when you used to call Chris Loco, and like he freaked out about being called Loco?
yes.
You remember that?
Get in on that. Chris who?
He probably would never listen to this. He left. Chris Holquin, he used to work at Safeway.
Dude, I got the best story about Chris. I love Chris Holquin so much. Loco, I remember that. Yes. So one day I'm at Safeway. I'm visiting. I've worked with Chris a few years, but here I'm not working there anymore, and I just go in, and it's Christmas time, so it's festive. Chris is dressed up as Santa Claus. Now, Chris wasn't the strongest guy back in the day, and he never really walked the straightest as well. he had a go back. Now, go back means if someone doesn't want to buy something at, they're like, oh, I don't want to buy this anymore. The checker will pull it aside and then they'll say, okay, go back on aisle 5 and go put it back. He's got 2 full, 24 cases of beer. He's dressed up as Santa Claus and he's walking him back to the aisle, and every kid is looking at him like Santa's hammered with all this beer.
I don't think he was doing go backs. I think he was going home. I'm telling you right now, that dude bought
Loke Dog.
224s all the time.
Loke Dog. I forgot about Loke Dog. Okay, let's go back. Way to tell a story about somebody else who didn't like a nickname. Do you have a nickname that that you don't like?
Not that I don't like. When we played poker, when the Maverick movie came out,
yeah,
I started getting called Maverick from that. That was the only thing I've ever been called, really, other than Bentley.
Oh, hey guys!
Everybody
I know we're talking about
everybody thinks
lame
it's from Top
nicknames.
Gun. That's the only thing I've ever been
But
called.
just so you know, I get called cool guy all the time. Every once in a while, I get called.
Well, everybody thinks it's from Top Gun, and it wasn't even from that.
Oh, sorry. You get called Maverick. That's like the best name to get called. I know you probably got some names, and I won't say it because I respect you.
You can say whatever you want.
What's yours?
I could care less if you talk about my red hair. You go right ahead.
It doesn't bother you at all?
It doesn't bother me at all.
You've heard it all.
I've heard every one of them.
I tried.
And glasses, red hair,
Oh, yeah.
and freckles. Do your best.
Do your worst. What's that from?
You remember his name in high school, don't you?
Bones. What was that nickname from? Where did that come from?
Bones?
Yeah. It was
Bones
just-
Bentley.
The story behind it, real quick, is
I have a giant penis. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I got a giant penis.
So-
I'm Maverick over here. Oh, hey, Lenny. What up, dude? Lenny from freaking To Kill a Mockingbird, you idiot. Make dumb trades, idiot. Okay. Bones, go
no,
ahead.
the story's not even it won't matter now.
That's
no,
what you wanted to be
so-
known as. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
We were sitting in English class. I don't remember who it was, and I took somebody's pencil, and I wrote really small on those yellow number 2 pencils.
Yes.
I will crush and eat your bones. Like legit. It was like I don't even remember. We might have been reading The Crucible or something. I don't remember.
I was in
And
that.
and I said it.
Yeah.
So when they came back, it was sitting there like they didn't know who said it, and then found out that I did it, and it kind of just stuck from there on.
Who was it that you were threatening?
Man, I don't even remember.
The teacher.
Probably
Yeah,
freaking yeah, Chris Holquin again.
It probably was Chris, but no, that kind of stuck. I guess my would have been junior and senior year probably. As a matter of fact, you know how back when you used to senior table outside where the picnic table was, you'd carve names in there.
Yeah.
So I actually carved in Bones. It was brand new table. The shop plate guys had just built the table. It was brand new, so everybody's written the side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I put in Bones because I didn't think it would. I'm not putting my real name out there.
Right.
Dude, it was like a period later, I get called to Miss Baker's office, and I walk in, and she's like, "So Bones, we see your names in the table." So people knew who.
People, I remember Bones Bentley. Was Carrie disappointed when she married you, and then was realized that your nickname for Bones was because you wrote something on a number 2 pencil, and not for the giant penis.
Yes, you'd have to ask her.
So I tried getting a nickname to stick for Kyle. I don't know if you remember.
I
this.
have one that I don't like, by the way, but go ahead.
Because everyone was changing names, and I was changing people's names. I thought Tiny was a good one. There was a bunch of other ones, and then I tried it because here's the thing about Kyle. Can I share this about your anger?
Yeah, I have an anger issue.
Okay.
Screw you,
Yeah,
Travis.
we've seen it enough. Don't worry.
So Kyle, you won't see it coming. You won't. You said that you've seen it, but you won't. You think Kyle, you're ribbing Kyle a little bit. Next thing you know, he's like the Corn Pops commercial where it just starts building and building and building. He's like, I gotta have my pops. He just kind of loses it for a moment, and then he's good again. It's almost like a Jack in the Box.
It's a vicious cycle.
So it's kind of like John Rocker.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, we go back and forth with Braves, so everybody knows.
Yeah.
He got it.
So I thought, Kyle would have these freakouts,
Blow-ups.
meltdowns. I don't know what else to call them.
Yeah.
Explosions. You want to keep going? Make it push you to that edge.
No, I'm not close to the edge. But they only usually.
That's
come
what
out
I
for,
always
like-
think.
Or
I-
am I?
I thought
This table's about to get flipped.
so. He's almost kind of got this alter ego in a sense when that he turns into the guy that he's a really like freaking low key dude, super chill, play video games all the time.
I don't text on the threads until I'm angry.
Yes, Lyle. I thought Lenny, Lyle. I thought Kyle. That would stick. No, Lenny sticks. Lyle doesn't stick.
No, that's
What-
because I don't bring out the angry. Kyle.
You don't.
And it's usually like fantasy football related.
Or a friend that is your really, really, really,
Yes.
really, really good friend
Yes,
who just at the same time is also nails on the chalkboard sometimes. Too.
yes, that's probably why, because we've been best friends forever.
Right,
and then.
right.
Yeah, both of them actually.
Right.
Both my best friends. The two that we're gonna fight because for the best man in my wedding kind of thing. Mike being one of them.
Yes.
Mike is one I blow up on a lot
Yes.
because he's fantasy football.
It's like brothers. It's like having a. Well, you guys know this. Have you guys ever had a brother that you just? I don't know. So okay, wait. You tell me about your nickname that you have.
Sophomore year, it was freshman year. Someone got hurt. This is baseball season, and I think it was freshman year. And I get called up to play on varsity, which means I'm going to go sit on the bench for the whole game, one game. And we're out there stretching, and they're talking about things I've never heard about, the seniors. And this is when Trevor Gibson was like a junior, and Kellen was a junior.
Yeah.
And they're talking about stuff I've never even heard of, right? Sexual things and positions I'm like, huh? You know, in the stretching little huddle. And I'm going, I got my head down and I'm scared.
You're new. But now you're interested.
Someone couldn't pronounce the R's. They're R's, right? Some people have that problem.
Was that you?
No.
Oh, okay.
A speech impediment where they
Right.
can't pronounce their R's. So someone said Kyle, what they were supposed to say is Kyle Pierce, but they said Kyle Piss.
Oh, piss.
So my nickname was Piss.
Piss. That actually kind of has lingered. It comes back in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
Do you hate it?
I'm not a huge fan of it.
Right, you wouldn't want to be stuck. You don't want to have Brad texting freaking Craig saying, "Hey,
Tell Piss I
is
said
Piss
hi."
on there?"
Yeah.
And then they change. And then is what Jokla? Is he still on in your guys' league?
Yeah.
So if he loses, and it's next week, no Kyle Piss for part 3.
And I thought I had it. Does it really pop up with you guys though?
With me,
Yeah.
it's one guy that will consistently, Greg will consistently throw it out there. I wouldn't say not all the time. I would just say he's the one that brings it up the most.
Yeah.
No one else. I've never heard anyone else say it.
Which is weird because he didn't play baseball.
And
So I had it confined to like the baseball.
you're like, listen, you better
Guys.
freaking shut your mouths.
Yeah.
But at least as far as nickname goes, I mean, that's at least a legit story. It's not like you pissed your pants one time
Right.
in front of everybody.
The guy just couldn't say
Yeah.
Pierce, so he said Kyle Piss.
Kyle Piss.
Piss.
Plus, I feel like the Lyle attempt was a weird attempt. I don't get what.
He was trying to get L's together.
I know what
Yeah,
he's doing, but
I
that's
know.
still just a horror. I don't.
Look,
You could've went-
listen, none of
You
my
could've just
jokes
went, like-
make sense,
you could've
okay?
just went, like AK for Angry Kyle. That makes more sense.
That's my brother, AK. Would have
I
got
mean-
really confusing. Listen, I'll tell the jokes, Corey, but they're bad. I've learned my laugh is the thing that bails me out because my laugh is the funniest thing. People tell me, dude, your laugh cracks me up, man. I love laughing when you're laughing, and now I've learned.
They laugh more at your laugh
Yes,
than your jokes.
it's my bailout.
Because you're laughing at your own jokes.
Yeah, which
and they're
is
really
funny.
laughing at your laugh, not your jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And I know this.
You should just record a laugh track of yourself so you can play it. Then.
True.
It's good.
So now we know why you say a joke and then automatically laugh.
Yes. I actually truly think I'm funny though, too. So I am seriously laughing at my own joke. But then, even though no one else is, I realized earlier in this episode I should have laughed when I was talking about, I forget what it was, and nobody laughed. And I should have. Oh, the brothers Bentley. No brothers Bentley. No one laughed at that. I should have. Right.
But now that we know that, you're not going to get a laugh. From that.
I know. Now I'm gonna be just kind of pulling myself away. But we're gonna talk about fantasy football a little bit more now. Fantasy football when it comes to if you're a commissioner. Now, do you guys have co-commissioners?
No, I do everything for ours.
So then who do you, if someone brings up a thing and says, I mean, I know that you probably throw it out for the vote as well. Do you guys do mid-season votes? Like with COVID, for instance?
We don't like trades and stuff?
No,
What are you
voting for like, hey, we had to figure out the freeze drop. What happens if this game gets
Oh,
flexed.
yeah, I'll post
And
something about what I think we should do, and then let the league vote if that's what we do.
Do you guys know about the freeze drop?
Kyle, explain the freeze drop.
I don't really know the freeze drop. I didn't pay attention to it. I haven't froze drop anybody. Honestly, none of my players have been in a COVID game yet, so I haven't had to deal with it.
We already have stuff set up before this season already for COVID players.
So we're not doing freeze drops. I'm letting people. So if there's a game that gets moved because of COVID and it might not play, I'll let you put a substitute in before Sunday at 10 a.m. on your bench or who you're going to put in that position.
See, with our league though, we don't allow. Like, we have claim waivers, 2-day claim waivers, or 1-day claim waivers the entire week. So Sunday morning, if it's all of a sudden someone's got COVID and they're going to flex the game or whatever, and you're like, well, crap, this is now not going to get flexed to Monday or Tuesday. This is going to go like 8 weeks down the road. I can't pick anyone up right now to put him in.
That sounds like it's a waiver issue.
Yeah, we do first come, first serve after that first part of waivers. So for us, it's not an issue.
It's a waiver
I thought
issue.
Our waiver wire on Sunday morning was you could pick them up right away.
Nope.
Yeah, so we did a thing where on the waiver wire, you could text the fantasy football thread and say, I want to freeze this guy from the waiver wire. And
because we can't.
Then the commissioner would, if your guy didn't play, say you had Cam Newton, he got COVID, can't play, and you find that out Sunday morning.
Right.
You can, I want to freeze Matt Stafford off the waiver wire. Just text it. Then Henry will use Matt Stafford's points.
Right.
If Cam Newton ends up not playing in a game that counts for that week. So.
But by freezing him, do you have to drop somebody else on your team to pick him up?
No.
See, so then we got, and I like him. I'm gonna throw him out there. Mike is really good at picking apart like what are maybe the holes in.
And this is what brings out Angry Kyle.
Yes, A.K. Angry Kyle, or A.K.A. Lyle.
Or you can just call me Piss.
Pissed. There you go. Merge the two. So he's good at like figuring things. Like he can see the holes and things that usually people don't see. For instance, I never thought of this before. Let's say that you have a Thursday night game and you're planning on, you have two players Thursday night game, but you bench one of them because you're not going to play him because on Sunday morning you're going to play your wide receiver and yada, yada, yada. Well, all of a sudden you find out that your wide receiver got injured on Saturday, or maybe he's not playing, he got sick, whatever. He got.
I don't think you can do it because of injuries, though. I thought it was just pure COVID.
It was pure COVID, but what he's saying is at any point, if you don't use that player and you're willing to drop him, you should be able to drop him even if that game is already passed. So that Thursday, if you would have known that wide receiver wasn't going to play. And even though, so here's his thing is, let's say that guy goes off Thursday night and he's on your bench, 28 points. You don't get to play him, but you can, if you want, drop him on Sunday morning. But usually every league is frozen because that game is played. And I've never thought of it that way. You're not using the guy, so might as well, if you want to get rid of him, get rid of him.
I think some leagues do that because I actually had Shepard on the IR in Craig's league in Yahoo. I didn't move him before he played, so it locked him in the IR, but he was actually active. So I went to switch it, and it wouldn't let me because it's game locked. And it wouldn't let me do any moves. I couldn't pick anybody else up because I had somebody in the IR, but it let me drop him straight out of the IR after he already played, and I could go pick somebody else up.
Interesting. Yeah.
So it worked out of the IR in his league.
See, that's the type of thing where it's like, I never thought about that. Like, well, you're not using them anyways, you might as well. So he will get on these text chains and blow it up. So for the COVID was, hey, we can't pick anyone up for waivers. We had a freeze drop. So, okay, it has to be a COVID threatened game too. Because I think one of the people tried to do the whole, okay, so I'm going to play AJ Brown if this game gets flexed. And we're like, this game isn't COVID threatened. You can't just
it's got to be normal.
By chance, Monday night's Chiefs game might get flexed, even though no one's reporting COVID stuff.
Like, you still have to pay attention to the games and the Thursday games and moving your laps. We had the first one this last week of somebody that started somebody that was out on a Thursday game.
Let's just say he started Miles Sanders.
Oh.
And it's their own fault. Like, you got to pay it. He was out like 3 days before that. So
Sean started it.
But that like that's what you said. It's his own fault, right?
Yes,
right.
Absolutely.
The COVID thing is such a weird thing that you don't know when it's going to happen, and it's not even necessarily. You could treat it like an injury. If a guy gets COVID, he's injured, but you never know when that game's going to happen again because he's not injured. So that game might get flexed to Monday night or Tuesday night.
Right. You got Emmanuel Sanders right
so
now.
then you could still play him that week because it would still count. But it's when that game gets flexed to 8 weeks down the road is when you really get screwed. And that was what I think Mike's biggest problem was.
Yeah. We had that conversation that night.
And I was okay with...
Oh, yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
I was okay with that whole thing with Mike and freezing and whatever. But then he brought in the freeze drop.
Yes.
You want to jump in on the freeze drop?
So
there was never such a thing as the freeze drop. He created it, got drunk one night, and decided to freeze drop.
Okay.
He dropped his entire team.
So here's the thing, and we should bring him on one time, but I was sitting next to him while this was going on at the Bordeaux wine bar, and he just goes, dude, and we're drinking. He's like, dude, I'm just going to drop all my players. And I'm like, you won't. He's like, I'm going to do it. And so then he's sending out these texts. I think I'm doing this right. I think I'm doing this right.
He sent 150 texts by himself.
And
I'm sitting in a trailer in Eastern Washington at a golf tournament trying to go to sleep, and my phone's bzz, bzz. He's sending one-word texts. But full sentences.
Guys, am I doing it right? Guys, I think I'm doing it. And then like people are getting on there. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You wanted to murder him.
I don't even think I said anything though. Did I?
We'll have to go back. That's these texts. That would take me 2 months to scroll back to.
I think I just was like, I'm gonna. But Burrito,
the only guy who's got a nickname right now,
is gonna quit fantasy football
because of him.
He called me. Yeah.
It's strictly because of him. Like he's not
That
it's not because he's doing this. Like he came out
he
so
could
hard.
care less if he wins or loses. First of all, he's not intrigued with the whole fantasy football thing. He hates the text thread.
Oh, and he's a part of a few.
Yeah. I don't like the text thread half the time.
That's where you just have them just mute it and not care what anybody says.
But then you miss something.
Well,
you miss something.
You mute it, and so you don't get a notification or it doesn't vibrate, which is eventually what I did because I wanted to go to sleep.
Sure.
But you still get all the texts. So we wake up in the morning and there's 200 text messages. Obviously, I didn't read them all, but
that's pretty bad. I think the most we've ever got to is like 30 or 40 on one of ours.
How do you guys even have a league at this point? That 200.
It's all gifts. It's all gifts from Jared too.
Skelly. So he's gonna quit, huh?
Yeah, I think he's done. Okay, I don't want to fully blame it on Mike because
it's me too.
Not just
it's everybody.
fantasy football that Mike can go crazy on sometimes, but I don't think it's that enjoyable for him. He doesn't watch sports. That's the difference.
Yeah.
He doesn't watch the NFL. He said it's made him more interested in football in general and watching the games, but he's just not that intrigued by it.
I think it's the type of thing where, and I think with him, he got great luck the first week he beat me. Ugh. But I think it's one of those things where I don't know if you guys ever done this before, where you play a new game and like halfway through you realize I'm going to lose this game now, but now I know how to play it, and I wish we could just start all over and do it all over again. But I think if he stuck it out one more year, I think he would probably do way better.
He's got a good team because he had Lamar,
dude,
Zeke.
He's got a great team.
Adams.
Yeah,
I mean, he had a big three.
Yeah.
Then granted, maybe he struggled a little bit, but
I was actually lusting after his team today.
Yeah, he's
sounds
also
like my team.
he doesn't pay attention to sports either. Like we were in the draft, and it's an auction draft, so you don't really draft anybody. You just put them on the block, right? You what's it called?
Waiver wire? Or what do you mean?
When you pick somebody to be bid on.
Yeah, you just auction draft or auction. What do you? I
What's
mean,
the word called?
put a bid on them.
Anyway,
Oh, place a waiver,
no.
placeholder.
Anyway, yeah.
Please don't bring that up.
Was that his?
Yes.
Yes. I was unaffected. I kept my own math like everybody else should have done and not trusted Travis. Which I said, hey, it's not Travis's fault. It's
Yeah,
your own
he-
fault for not keeping your
Yeah,
own.
he did come to my rescue, but then obviously
Yeah.
emotions run high.
It was
Yeah.
a test for everybody else.
But the burrito was also the guy that was like, oh, okay, I'm going to put Joe Mixon up for auction. And I was sitting right next to him. He'd go, what does he do? He begs groceries. I mean, he didn't know what he was, a running back, a quarterback, a wide receiver, nothing. He just doesn't know.
Dude, that's hilarious. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I think that's.
And he beat you week 1?
But here's the thing. Yeah, my brother is the same way though. I think they're very equal in that
Yeah.
because my brother was very like I remember him.
But your brother still has 10 times more sports knowledge than.
True, but he had Dennis Pitta. Or was it Dennis Pitta? Who was the Ravens tight end?
Yeah.
And like my brother was like we caught him during one of the drafts. He's just reading the bubbles next to people, like trying to figure out who they are. And so he bid hard on Dennis Pitta because of a bubble.
We have guys that try to fake like they don't know who their positions are during the draft, even though we've been playing together for so many years and we know that you're lying. It's like they're trying to play poker with guys you played poker with for the entire time. Like, who is this guy? Like, we know that you know who we're talking about.
I did just notice because I'm looking at my.
Get in that thing. You got to get in that thing a little
I'm looking at the waiver wire, trying to pick up some people for Sunday because half my team's injured or on a bye.
Team questionable.
Team questionable. I didn't know that Taysom Hill was a tight end.
What?
Some leagues he's got available.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it?
Well, I could probably pick him up as a quarterback, but you can flex him.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was going to do that in Craig's league, but what that mean?
A tight end.
Yeah.
Not that I'm looking for a tight end. You might want to pick up a few.
That's
but I'm
it.
not playing you this week.
No, I don't care. I don't care now. I'm playing the champ. Gosh dang, I'm playing the champ, and that sucks. And Joe Mixon was out, Mostert's out, Hooper's out. Like I now know how you feel. Just everybody's out. Eckler's out. That's my bench. Real quick, unless you have something to wrap it up with, Corey. Okay. I got into some baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards. I pulled them out one day because it is going. And we talked about this another time. It's going ham right now with baseball, football, and basketball. There we go. I got two of them right there. I started looking up my baseball cards. Kyle, you guys, I'll pull them out. You guys can look at them. But they are like I thought. Like, oh my gosh, this Griffey. Oh my goodness, this Sandy Alomar Jr. Oh my gosh, this Roberto Clemente. Like I'm like, look,
Benito Santiago.
I'm like,
Hey, do not say anything about
sorry.
Benito Santiago.
oh
He
my,
throws from his knees.
this Darnell Cole. I'm like into them all, and I'm like, these are worth like 50 cents, $1.50, maybe the most was $8. I flipped to basketball. Basketball is insane. I have this 3 card. I don't know if you guys remember it, but you could tear the card and it was 3 different separate players. It was Kobe Bryant, rookie, Kevin Garnett, rookie, and Jermaine. Help me out, Jermaine. Not O'Neal, rookie.
Oh, yeah,
Rookie card, $130. If it's a 10, I probably it's not a 10, but
So I told you, my guy wants to come and look at all your cards, and he just sent another 300 cards in.
he's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, this is crap. I should take it off your hands for
Right.
like I don't know, $2."
He won't try to buy it. I already told him that.
He already knows?
He'll send him in, and he'll take a percentage for doing it all for you. But
Do you guys have your cards? Do you guys have cards still? Have you guys been able to pull them out and this and that?
It's been a while since I pulled mine out. I got a whole box of baseball. I'd say baseball.
Keep going. What else you guys got?
I pulled my football cards out and went through them, and a lot of them aren't in enough condition that I think they're going to come back as 10s to give to him to actually take and look at.
Yeah.
But he legit, I'm telling you, he'll come look and
All
go
right.
through all of your cards, and he'll go through and send them in, and like he's got the first cards he sent like 1,000 cards in the first time for this guy to get graded in New York, and he's got those coming back, and he sent like another 300 over there to get.
Is he
graded.
selling them? Does he? Is it with the option to sell? So when he
Yeah,
sends
so
those over to
The guy that he sends them to has his own business where he'll sell the cards for you, or you can have them sent back to you and sell them on eBay
yeah,
if you know what they're worth and what you can
The
sell them
value.
for. So if they get rated as a 10, you can bring them back and you can sell them. And like I said before, he's got, $4 or $5 grand in it, but he's going to end up selling it. Oh, he's got 10 grand worth of cards. that
it's
are got
incredible
rated.
how
Yeah.
it's just booming right now. Kyle, you got yours?
Yeah. It's probably been a year or two since I went through them, but I do remember going through. I got a big box of cards, and when you were a kid, you didn't know who. So if you went through that big box of cards, now you'd
Yeah.
be like, okay, this card would have
Yes.
been worth something.
A
This card
big
would have been
box.
worth
Yeah.
something.
Shoe
This
box.
card would.
Yeah,
I had a binder, and you could have those pages that you
I got
put them
that.
in.
Yes.
And it's funny because you go through that box of cards and you realize, oh, there's Derek Jeter. I didn't know who that was back then, but this could have been worth something. I had a page for Cedric Sabalos. And I was a huge Braves fan. So I had all the Braves. Like, did I really
David
need a page for
Justice and
Mark
all those guys?
Lemke and Jeff Blauser? But I loved them, so they're in the book. But I also have Chipper Jones, Fred McGriff, David Justice,
There you
Andrew
go.
Jones. I mean, they're probably not worth anything. Do they have to be 10s to get anything for them?
Pretty much, dude. Nines. The value. I was looking at it like is like the 10 is like, let's just say the 10's $100. The 9 is like $10. It's like such a huge
That's crazy.
drop. It's incredible.
But if you had like a Roger Maris rookie card,
yeah, I mean they
that's
got
a 9. It's still probably worth a ton.
Yeah,
of
I
money.
mean, you're still gonna
I don't
make-
have one of those, by the way.
No,
but I did have a bunch of old cards of my dad's, and I'm looking at them. I don't even know who, like Boog Powell. I'm like, Dad, who's this guy? Like,
Do you still have them?
yeah, somewhere.
Let's go hard on those. Do you guys have the Griffey with the? I love the Griffey with the hat backwards rookie card, 1989 upper deck with the bat. The one that was like everyone wanted. Did you guys ever have that one or any other card that was like the most sought after card that you can remember?
That was very specific, but he was baseball. I didn't do any
okay.
baseball cards.
I got Griffey's rookie. I don't know if I have the upper deck.
I
I got the what was the cheapest? I got Donruss.
That's what I got, and it has like the little thing in the corner. That's
Is
just
that the one that had the green borders?
blue.
And then,
Yeah,
I remember always
Donruss, Fleer,
tops, upper deck,
top.
Leaf.
skybox for
Leaf was expensive. The
Yeah.
Leaf ones.
Yeah.
love Skybox football cards.
Skybox.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, it was fun. And the funny thing is that Henry Level texted out. Travis was probably reading all these. I'm like, yeah, I actually did 2 days ago. We were throwing out like, we'll throw that out right now. Basketball. You guys ready for basketball? Can you guys talk basketball? I know we did WWF, WWE, and all that.
I'll go basketball.
What was the most exciting? Give top 3 most exciting player to watch. That's not in the NFL or not in the NFL. That played basketball. No, that's not in the Hall of Fame. That's not in the Hall of Fame.
Not in the Hall.
Not
of
in the Hall
Fame?
of Fame. Most exciting top 3 most exciting players to watch. Kemp is one of them for me. Obviously, Kemp was super exciting to watch.
Is Barkley in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I know who's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's why.
Well, I think
There's guys that aren't in the Hall of Fame, but will be, like Vince Carter.
he'll be in the Hall of Fame once he retires.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be eligible.
We already know who my number 1 is.
Jack Doyle,
Yeah,
Steve Scheffler.
He's the new coach of the Brooklyn Nets.
Scheffler. Scheffler was like the victory cigar or the towel. When he went into the game, you were either blowing people out, and you're smoking that victory cigar, or you're losing and you're just throwing in the towel. When Scheffler hit the court,
I'm gonna go Steve Nash.
he's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
I know, but he's not. He's not right now.
Okay, all right. LeBron James.
I'm gonna go Jeff Hornacek because I loved when he did that face thing when he got a free throw.
Face. Yeah, I remember that.
He's not that exciting though. I'm just remembering names. And Rex Chapman. Remember that 3 he threw up against Seattle that one game?
the most exciting.
Sexy Rexy, who has a great Twitter that
He has
I
a great
unfollow.
Twitter. He's getting a little too annoying for me right now, though. He's getting too political. Stay out of the politics. How about you?
I don't know. I'd have to.
Are you a basketball guy? We should be talking baseball instead.
I was never. Yeah, I mean, I could name guys.
I
But
think
have
yes,
no
maybe
idea.
more baseball. If I threw baseball out there,
Not in the Hall of Fame baseball.
yeah.
Well, not in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
He should be.
100%.
This is like exciting guys in basketball is way different than baseball players aren't really that exciting.
That is true.
That's a good point.
But the best players that aren't in the Hall of Fame that
What's
Yeah,
what's
you're right.
Birdman's name?
Oh, gosh.
No, Chris Anderson? Chris.
Yeah, I think it is Chris Anderson. He got like catfished.
Okay, I'll choose that guy. I'll choose
You
that guy.
can choose him. Dude, he was like this.
I'm trying to find this on the thread. This might have been part of the one that I skipped.
Yeah, it could have been. We can also skip this as well. I thought you guys were going to bring a little more heat.
Penny Hardaway.
I love Jeff Hornacek's.
Penny Hardaway's a good one. Was he on there?
Yeah, he was.
There we go.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Here it is.
Yeah, you want to actually think there.
Yeah, think.
Steve Nash was my number one.
Is Kemp a top 5 coolest player not in the Hall of Fame alongside Spud Webb and Slick Watts?
I think Alonzo Mourning, if Alonzo Mourning isn't in there.
Sam Perkins.
Sam Perkins. That's the thing. So Kemp.
Oh, Tony had yeah.
Say it, that's fine.
He
He's
had a
been
couple
on.
good ones. Nate Robinson and Harold Miner.
Stockton's in there for sure.
Brian Scalabrine.
No kidding. I'm running from him.
Stephon Marbury and Larry Johnson.
Starberry.
That's crazy.
I think I had a pair of Starberry shoes.
Steve Francis was a sneaky good pick. I used to love Steve Francis.
Is Ori?
Or
Robert Horry?
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
He's got 6 rings.
Mm-hmm.
What about John Francis, the produce manager over at 1471?
You know what? Doesn't Paxton have 6 rings or 5 rings?
Paxson?
All those white guys that tagged on Michael Jordan's coattails.
Dude,
Bill Cartwright.
Bill Cartwright. John Paxson.
Horace Grant. Oh,
Who's
wait,
the
no.
coach for Steve
Is Horace
Kerr.
Grant white now?
You said Bill Cartwright. I think Bill Cartwright is actually black. Okay.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. It wasn't the
But
Cartwrights.
it's the whitest black name of all time.
You're thinking like the what was that? Gunsmoke or whatever, some TV show back in the day. The Cartwright.
That was the Jeffersons.
But I'm talking about the. Please do not bring up Jefferson right now. It's a trigger word for me.
Justin Jeffersons.
This guy scores 4. I'm like, man, I'm gonna beat Kyle. This is good. My team isn't doing great. I'm gonna beat Kyle. Let me just check my phone. Justin Jefferson, garbage time, just getting absolute points. So angry.
I agree with you because I actually benched him last week for no reason.
It was probably the smart play. He's the new Stephon Diggs over there. All right, so thanks for listening, everyone. Anything to add before we go? Any shout outs? Shout outs at all?
I'll give a shout out to anybody that listens to this period.
If you've made it this far.
I'll give a shout out to Cole Cole at my work for beating me 5 weeks in a row on our bet in the stupid Eagles last night.
Really? 5 weeks in a row?
Yeah.
I do have another topic that would really help.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Look what he brings
It's
to the table.
It's
I'm glad you're
6:45
here.
right now, and I have to have my picks in by 9:00 tonight. Me and my superintendent at work are the only ones that gamble together, and I have to pick 6 college games, 6 NFL games.
Like a parlay, like you have to get them all right?
No, it's
Okay.
a total score between all those, and I've got to pick them by 9:00 tonight.
And you want to run them by us?
Yeah, I don't even know. I haven't even started to try and pick.
I'm out on college. I can't do
I'll
college.
do college. Let's go.
I brought my paperwork.
Yes.
Very prepared.
Wow.
So I've got to pick 6 college games, 6 NFL games, 3 against the spread, and 3 over under.
I'm so bad with that stuff.
So the games aren't already set? You have to choose games to bet on?
Yeah, here's the college games that I have to bet on.
Oh, you gotta choose.
Yes.
Oh, we know what Corey's gonna. Bills versus the Jets.
Yeah, but it's against the spread, so I got to give the points if I take the Bills.
Don't worry about it.
So the college over under is pretty easy, right? Clemson's going to get the over under by themselves.
I don't know what it is, but probably.
There's 17 pages worth of games right there. that I
Okay.
have to pick from.
Hey, I know that
You don't have to put this on the podcast. I just need help.
This is. I'm gonna have to edit all this stuff out. It's gonna be like long pauses. That's okay though. Keep going. By the way, while you guys figure it out, if anyone wants to join us once the Muckleshoot Casino opens up the sports book room, they're gonna have a sports book room where you can watch games, bet on games, do it all. I want to start doing that at least once a month. Saturday, dude, college football Saturday would be amazing. I'd be into that.
A couple people might have enough pull at the Muckleshoot Casino where you could do a podcast from.
Oh,
there.
dude.
I love college football. So.
And they're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna show up with my like one port that doesn't work. Sorry, guys, just a second.
Do you
We
guys,
blow on
do
this
you guys
thing.
have another one of these I could use?
Who's your college teams then that you always like to watch? Since you're Mr. College guy.
Well,
Penn State?
I don't know being around here if I should even mention it, but since I was a kid, and I'll tell you this,
Is
good
it
or
Oregon?
no,
Oh,
good
you
or
would've
bad,
flown across.
no.
This
Here's the
thing,
deal:
didn't
good or bad. I don't like telling people this, but Corey can attest it. When I was a kid, I had one of those parkas.
you? Yeah,
You know the parkas everybody has,
the starter jackets.
starter jackets.
Yeah.
I mean everything.
Oh yeah.
I was always Alabama, even when they were not good.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
All right.
I'm not even mad because I don't like Alabama anymore.
yeah,
Just like I didn't like the Bulls when they won everything. Alabama wins everything all
Sure.
the time. And another reason I don't like Clemson anymore. But when I was growing up, my dad had a Crimson Tide shirt. And I was a huge Alabama fan just because when I was 5 years old,
Yeah.
I saw my dad in a Crimson Tide shirt. So I was a huge Alabama fan. You know, when they won their first couple, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Now I don't like them anymore.
That's how
Because
I was
they win too much.
That's how it's the Ohio State Buckeyes. I was the same way.
Yeah. But I Huskies, obviously, and then Florida State.
Seminoles.
Yeah.
Really?
Me and Greg are huge Florida
Was this
State
back
fans.
in the day? Back
Yeah.
when you guys were probably in third, fourth, fifth, when they
Yeah.
were just rolling?
Mm-hmm. So a big Florida State fan. I probably have a team from each conference that I like. That like Big Ten's Michigan State. Just because I hate Ohio State and Michigan.
I 100% agree there.
Well, I hate Michigan because of the Huskies playing them back in the day for was it the Rose
In the
Bowl?
Rose Bowl, yeah.
We lost to them, didn't we?
I'm sure, but we beat them too.
Who was the guy though? It was Desmond Howard. I think Desmond Howard was on that team. And I think that's when he got the when he did the Heisman pose. And I was like, oh,
I'm not sure that was against the Huskies, but
I
maybe.
don't. I think it was the same year though. is what
Mario
I'm saying.
Bailey had one where he did the Heisman pose.
Did he?
Yeah.
I
I
love
don't
Mario.
remember if
I
that
met
was
Mario
Michigan,
Bailey.
though.
Mario Bailey. I played flag football against Mario Bailey back in the day.
How'd you do?
I sucked.
Did you hurt your knee that time too?
Yeah, dude, those knees hurt. I'm telling you, if you smack your knee on the turf, it hurts. Tell me and Joey would talk about this all the time.
Was it at JJ?
No, it was at Auburn Riverside, and I ruined my career. I had to step away from the game.
Mario Bailey, who was like 45 at the time. Travis was 26. I golfed Chambers yesterday.
Yeah, how'd that go?
I have not been so sore from walking.
Wait, did you not no cart?
There's no carts out there. You have to walk.
Chambers Bay people go spend $200 to go play, and then they walk.
Yeah.
There's a lot of courses like that.
No,
Pull cart. Like, it's a great course, and it was super fun to play.
is it a long course?
Yeah.
Is it as bad as what Drew?
There's a hole between holes 3 and 4. It's like a 400-yard walk to the next tee box up a hill.
Oh man, I'd roll that cart.
There was nobody in the parking lot you could have paid to be your caddy and just bring with you?
I could have had a caddy, but I was too cheap to buy one. And so were the guys that I was with. So.
I would have. You know what? I would have gone with you. I would have caddied for you.
No,
The point
caddies
of having
usually
a
help.
caddy is to help.
I'm carrying your clubs. That's helping.
Looks like a tough shot. Walks away.
He's like, "Can I get a 6-iron?" And he hand you a 9.
Yeah. I melted down. You probably heard that story on Joey's episode.
Yes.
I melted down at I went golfing at Lakeview over in Soap Lake. Broke my pitching wedge. I drove over it like 6 times. I did figure eights over it. I was so mad at it.
This is recently?
This was like last weekend. Yes.
This was post Cider Cup.
This is
Okay.
post. Yeah. I literally.
So you can't use that excuse.
No. I took the club I just absolutely destroyed it. And here's the thing. I couldn't believe, I've never been to a course, maybe you guys have, been to a course where it's like long par 4s and long par 3s. And you're like, what? This is a chintzy course. Like, I paid $45 to play this course, and you guys are treating this thing like it's the PGA coming through. Like, give me my 280-yard par 4, not some 400-yard par 4. It's stupid, and it was consistent, and so
That's how it was yesterday, and we get to a 450-yard par 4, and I'm like, so this is a par 5, right? No, it's a par 4. I'm like,
are you kidding? And was it straight on, or was it doglegging left or right or anything?
there was a bit of both, but they were long.
Yeah.
Imagine walking those.
Dude, that sounds terrible.
And usually links courses are flat. Chambers Bay is on the side of a hill.
Yeah. Was it good views though?
Yeah.
Pretty views? I mean, if it was sunny. Was it sunny yesterday?
Yeah, we teed off at 9 o'clock in the morning when it was 40 degrees.
Oof.
And by the time we hit about the fourth hole, the sun was out. I was sweating. I was down to a t-shirt,
Oh wow.
a polo shirt,
And no pants.
no pants. And I had I got there and I had leggings underneath, stay warm leggings underneath my golf pants. And then we got there and it was 40 degrees and I got out of the truck. I'm like, it's cold. So I put on my rain pants.
Yes, those gray ones. Oops. Right?
No.
Oh,
I got
black ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the fourth hole, those came off.
I've golfed with him quite a bit.
Those came off. I had 4 layers of shirts on. Those came off. I was sweating, but it was fun.
How come we did a glow ball this year? Where were you at?
I was in
Eastern Washington or something?
Yeah, Central Washington, Suncadia.
Oh.
100th anniversary.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Golfed that weekend too.
Golfed. Well, shout out to, by the way, I broke the pitching wedge the hole before. I'm like, another par 3 is coming up. Well, that's going to be probably 180 yards, 200 yards for this par 3. And I go up and it's 75 yards. And I'm like, this is exactly where I'd shoot my pitching wedge. Broken. But I want to give a shout out to Gabby for letting you come out here. Gabby for being pregnant. What do you guys do?
January 21st.
It's got to be coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like already December. It's October. You guys have been pregnant for 3 years, I feel like, with the second kid.
It's because we were pregnant and then had a baby and then got pregnant again.
Yeah, back to back to back.
Yeah.
So, are you guys going to do any golfing? Are you guys done? Are you guys done for the rest of the year? Or are you going to keep golfing?
I'm pretty much done.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't golf a lot even during the year, so it's hit and miss regardless.
And for you?
I never started.
You know who's a good golfer is Jaron,
Yes, I do know that.
but he's almost not as good as me. I think he's actually better than me. He plays in the tournaments up at Enumclaw because I think he's part of the men's club.
I've never golfed with you, but I mean, he's a single handicap.
Yeah, and I'm barely a single handicap.
So I mean, you guys are probably real close then.
Yeah.
Corey and I are just handicaps. So
Yeah.
Scramble golfer?
No, yeah, because I've seen him.
I
up
love
there.
scrambles.
I ate
That's
it.
what I want to
yeah, me too.
Scrambles are the greatest.
Me too. Yeah, I ate a big scramble at the then I go head out.
I mean, we teed off on hole number 10, which used to be number 1 when I got flip flopped, right? So the 18th green's right below the tee box on 10. I've never seen someone get up to the tee box and aim at the 18th green to hit it onto the 10th fairway.
Who was that?
You.
Yes, that was me.
That hook?
That was years ago. I've straightened it out.
2 years ago.
I've straightened it out.
I got a slice, or sometimes that I would do that too. But if you know how to play it, I love playing at Orty. I love playing at Orty.
Oh.
Directly right.
And everyone's like, what are you doing? And I hit it, and they saw, and they go, okay.
Yeah, it was bad.
With Kyle, though, I almost Lyled him because we've now determined that if you're going to get really angry at somebody, you call that Lyle, right? That's
Yeah.
Okay. I think you were with TB, and when me and my wife were golfing in front of you.
I wasn't mad.
No, I was mad.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You got mad.
I got mad.
I was trying to stand up for you.
Thank you. Yeah,
I
you
don't
were
know how
the
I
good
end
friend.
up the guy that's always doing that.
No, you weren't. I'm just saying, you were there for
standing
it,
up for you.
Oh, that's true. Because he's a soft soul. The guy probably walks by a homeless person's like, here's $20. And he has a soft soul for people. He's a good guy. So anyway, yeah, I was getting balls rained on me, it felt like. And I was like, you know what? These guys are like my friends. They know me. And I'm ready to murder them. And I'm like, okay. And I told Jamie, stay here. I'm going to go drive this cart as fast as I can back there, scream at them, and then come back. And then they respected me after that. It was nice. I needed that.
Did they?
Well, they didn't respect me. They just didn't shoot it at me every time.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing, why they were.
It was crazy.
And the funny thing is like you came back mad, and I get that because I'd be pissed too.
Right.
But I don't think they did it on purpose.
Well, they were just raining balls on me left and right.
Yeah, I don't.
Were you playing slow?
No, I had people in front of me. You get to a point where you're like, I can't, I'm going to hit these
It
guys.
was you and your neighbor and
No,
the wife.
It's just me and my wife.
No.
Oh, my neighbors were there too?
Yeah.
Okay, then we're probably playing slow.
But there was a group in front of you. It was just a super slow day.
It was a slow day.
That's why you play at 6 or 7
But
a.m.
the one guy that did do it probably did it on purpose because he likes to instigate.
Oh, he's Mr. Instigator. Gosh.
And he just wanted to get under your skin.
Always.
And it worked.
And he did.
He did. Control the narrative. All right, so I liked how you turned that around where, what'd you say about Jokala? What did you
He's
say?
a good golfer.
He's a good golfer,
He's a
but
really good
is he as good as you?
Right, that's a new fantasy team name.
No Kyle Pierce.
It was no Kyle Pierce, and then at the time, Jaron was golfing a lot with Waxman at the time, and so there was a.
He's always out there too.
He is. Do they usually golf together? Because I see Waxman out there.
I think
all
they
the time.
golf a lot.
Yeah.
And it was no Kyle Pierce, and then I'm not better at golf than Josh Waxman was like on part of the name too.
The funny thing is Jaron's probably better than me.
Is he?
Yeah.
We should bring him on here.
He's younger. I
So
retired,
instantly-
by the way.
You're not playing softball anymore?
No, I'm done. Too
Even
old.
league?
Shoulder.
You played so long through your shoulder anyway.
Yeah, you changed your entire stance for your shoulder.
He
I
changed his
changed
entire
everything
game.
for my shoulder. But I'll play league with the young kids again and pitch. Like it's funny how when I was young, when you were young, you played with a bunch of older guys maybe.
Yes.
And so you were
Now we're the old guys.
Now it's like Peyton Lamb called me and goes, "Hey, you want to pitch for our team?" I show up, it's a bunch of 23 to 21-year-olds. I'm like the old man pitcher that they called to come pitch because none of them know how to pitch. And I'm like, I've never pitched either, but I played softball.
I'll say this: I knew it was that swing had happened when not this last year because we couldn't play,
Right.
but the year before that. My kids always came out and watched, and we were out one day, and Kenzie came out, which is my oldest, and she's a senior this year, so she would have been a sophomore, junior, yeah. And she came out and she's like, "Dad, that team you're playing, those kids graduated last year." And I'm like, "That's when you know that like you're the old guy now."
I think our entire team's almost the old guys.
Well-
Jaron's probably the youngest one, I think, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a kid we were out playing, and I was playing first base, and this kid hit a ball out. This team was like destroying us. They were all young, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, Corey?" And I look over, and I'm like, I don't recognize him. And he's like, "You were my 6th grade camp counselor." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh shit."
Did he call you Mr. Corey?
No, he was actually a neighbor kid from down the street. I graduated with his older sister, but I didn't recognize him at all because he was taller than me. But like, I didn't know who he was. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's me, man."
Dude, I did that. You guys remember having to call those guys counselors Mr. This, Mr. That? I remember seeing a guy when I was like 17. I was a junior in high school, and this guy was like back like at a grocery store. I'm like, "Mr. Tim," and he's like, "Huh?"
I'm pretty sure mine was Shane McNeil was one of the counselors when I went. Yeah.
Do you remember yours, Kyle?
No. I think I had like the nerdy ones, like not the basketball. Like I think I went with TB.
Yeah.
Like we were in the same
Cabin?
No, not the same cabin, but he was in the cool cabin that had like the basketball players that were the counselors.
Yeah.
And then I had the
Seems about right.
nerd dudes.
Seems about right.
Yeah. And I was like, this is dumb.
You're like, these guys talk about video games.
Yeah. And that's how I played
And that's
Call
how
of
I
Duty.
Did you go back and were you a counselor?
I wanted to. I never did.
So me and Jared went back and we were camp counselors for the kids. And 6th grade then was so much different than I remembered 6th grade. Because we're in the bunk and they started asking about, hey, who are you sleeping with? And I'm like these 6th graders are asking me all these sex questions. I'm like, why are you asking me this shit? He's like, well, I've done it a couple. I'm like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
And
How many drugs do you use?
yeah. And then all these kids, it was just the weirdest experience. And there's this one kid who that was Jacob Bickler graduated with me. He had a younger cousin who used to play basketball all the time down in Montgomery, so I knew who he was. So he came up and he hit me one time. So I started just chasing him down this dirt hill because I knew who he was. I got tackled from behind by this cow. It was Eli in a cow costume.
Oh.
And he was booking down chasing me because I was chasing this little sixth grader and just like tackled me in a cow costume.
That sounds awkward. That sounds like a dream.
It was very awkward.
Yeah, I remember what our counselors were like, we're going to read you guys books. We're like, okay. And they're like, it's choose your own adventure. As if we would be like stoked. Like, we're like, okay. They were trying to relate. They just couldn't relate to us at that time.
There's a lot of guys that I'm not going to name names, but there's a story of one of the counselors I went with that this kid, he wasn't a special needs kid, but he was just kind of like a nerdy kind of offset kid. And
get the nickname Bones later.
Yeah, nickname Bones.
Yes.
He had supposedly the story was that one of the counselors took his toothbrush and like cleaned the toilet like as a joke or something. But then the kid came back and like said that was like the last thing his mom gave him or something before she left or something like that. And, and the guy was like telling us the story. We're all like looking at him. We're like, oh shit.
Oh, well, thanks for listening, everyone.
Did you never went back? I could have swore you went back.
No.
Your brother did.
Yeah, he did. I think him and one of our friends were camp counselors. I never did. I was too busy with other crap. I never did it.
I would have totally pegged you for one that went back.
No, not me. I don't go back. No, but yeah. Anyway, everyone, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging in there. I'm gonna have to edit some of this down just a tad.
30 minutes later.
Yeah. Anyway,
So-
Did we even talk about football?
we started at the beginning.
15 minutes.
Have you said that you've listened to some of the stuff? We talk about football minimal on this fantasy football podcast.
As possible.
I listened to like the first one you did.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You need to catch up though. Kyle is like the number one besides like Edred and like I know Kellen. I don't know if Kellen listens anymore, but I know Kellen used to listen all the time. I know a lot of people that listen. Kyle has been like the OG. Craig
hard.
is
So, like I said, I got inundated with a bunch of Husky stuff because they have a press conference every week, and I'm only in my car.
You're not
on
driving
the way to
anymore.
work.
Yeah,
No,
right.
I'm not driving anymore. So it's usually like Mitch. He's got like a 2-hour one that takes up till like Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got to catch up on all the 20-minute interviews from the Huskies.
Yeah. And I don't release as much anymore. I used to.
Mm-hmm.
I used to release like four a week. Now it's like maybe 2, maybe 3.
Then you're probably gonna edit this out, but I can't do Joey's. Like I used to listen to Joey's, but now I can't do it anymore.
I try to ask him college football questions just for you and you. I usually go, okay, what does somebody who has never played college football probably want to know about bye weeks, the momentums, and this and that, the swings? But it's okay if you don't.
I did listen to the Bordeaux one. I don't know why I'm talking to this. It's probably not going to go in there. I did listen to the Bordeaux.
I wish you were there for that. It's okay that you weren't there for that.
I was going to be there, but I possibly had COVID.
Well, that's why I didn't go because he wasn't there.
COVID Kyle Pierce.
I didn't go because you didn't care if I was there.
I did care. I always care. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Full Buddy Cast. We had
We cut 10 minutes.
Craig, Corey, and Kyle all together. It was fun. We reminisced. I love the nickname. I love the my favorite part was probably that you guys made. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
Until today?
And I probably would have argued with him that he was better than me.
Until today?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody
In
that's
my
not
heyday-
in our league.
In my heyday, back when I had 2 arms, he probably wasn't better than me.
Wait. But did you know about the fantasy football team name
I did not.
prior to this?
I did not.
Nobody that's not in our league, I don't think, would have known that.
This is,
But now when I see him, I'm going to give him crap.
you know me.
Because we play. When did we split up? We played.
God, do
You
we?
and Kellen left the team?
Is that when?
You guys
Yeah, you
joined,
guys-
Jocelyn and that team.
Yeah.
Dude, it's probably. Well, we started in 04, 05, so I mean,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Kellen
there's-
started that team.
hmm
it had to have been. I don't know.
And
07
then that
or
team
whatever.
went
It was
downhill
after all the
real
Oregon
quick.
tournaments we used to play.
Yeah,
Yeah, downhill after that team when Kellen left. That team went downhill, and then I played for Mullen.
You played for them for quite a while.
Yeah. They paid for everything. So
They should.
That was a good team.
yeah. So that past couple of years, we started playing C, and I'm not at that level. Like maybe defensively I can play up there, but I can't hit at that level. I'm a liability.
That's just too serious for me. Like I know there's guys at C that still have fun.
Yeah.
Right. But because we even played D a year or two, and it was almost a little too serious. I want to go out and I want to have beers in between games.
Yeah.
And you get to that level, and some of those guys don't want to do that because they take it so seriously.
Right.
Which I get.
I didn't drink when we got up to that level. Now, I didn't drink a lot anyway, but I'd have a couple beers at like when we were E or D or whatever.
Sure.
Playing C, there's no way I'm going to have a couple beers and maybe be a little tuned up. They hit it way too hard. Like, Jesus. Yeah, but it is funner. The one thing about playing C that was way better is that there wasn't as much shit talking.
Because they always stacked each other.
Yeah, there wasn't like we were down at Worlds a couple years ago, got our shit pushed in, but we watched. It was a D game, right? And it was like 2-1, and they're just two California teams that were just back and forth at each other. 2 fights almost happened, kind of thing. I'm like, I don't miss that part.
Sure.
Like
So-
Jason in that black guy.
Yeah, guy hits a double, and you can just bullshit with the guy out there. Like some of the guys that are playing at that level are former A guys or whatever, and they're playing at that level, and they can. Oh, we want this on the podcast.
This is okay. So here's the thing. This is what's I'm hearing something. I'm seeing something that's going to be birthed. Maybe starting next year, we'll have start of the softball season. We'll just do like a 4-episode special. We'll have the guys that I know that play softball. We'll bring you in. If you want to be in, you're in. You're in. Sean. We'll get Johnny White. We'll get my wife.
I play against Johnny.
Yeah, we'll get a few people, and we can just talk softball stories, playing down at Worlds, doing, just stuff like that. Just some fun, just summer type. Not one that's going to last forever, but just like a nice little summer one. You guys down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Reminisce about. Yeah, just too old. Man, too old, can't do it. Well, I'll play League. League's always fun.
Yeah. See, I quit. I think it's been 2 or 3 years since I played any tournaments, and I want to do League until like I can't walk.
Right.
Because
Sean's still pretty into it, isn't he?
No, he's out too.
Is he?
Yeah, he didn't play 2 years ago. He didn't play.
No tournaments? I thought he was playing tournaments still.
He quit everything. He didn't play League with us
He's so busy
because he was so busy doing the brewery.
Oh, yeah. Is Jaron still doing a tournament?
Jaron's still doing. Well, no, I don't think he's doing tournaments. I don't know. I think those guys every once in a while, a couple years ago, they got picked up on some teams, but yeah. But as soon as I started coaching, because I've been coaching for 4 years now, fast pitch, and the first year I coached, I tried to do both, and it was a nightmare trying to coach and do stuff. And I enjoy coaching, and it was kind of like
it's so hard with softball too because it's like 8 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night, and I quit because I just wanted to play golf. I just had a kid, I just got married. I don't have time to play softball. Gabby was getting fed up with it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't go to the tournaments anymore, which kind of sucked. But you're gone from 8 to 8.
Tournaments are long.
Yeah. And then you're doing it the next morning if you make it to Sunday. And then I was like, I'll just golf. And it's 6:30 to 10:30 in the morning. And then I'm home before you even wake up on a Saturday.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah. I just got to golf a lot. Travis got to golf. Early morning golf sessions.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's the best.
Dude, I don't.
I would, but then I'd go play another 18 after that.
But see, the thing with me is I don't golf a ton. But this year I golfed more than I ever have. But majority of the time, I mean, there's sometimes I do golf with Kyle, not Kyle here, but but I golf with my old man a lot, and he's sun right at. I mean, if it was 5:30 and it was light enough, we'd be golfing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love it.
Travis, because I've got a group of buddies that we play like 6:30. It's almost a standing thing, but it's either Saturday or Sunday. It's like 6:30 or 7, and we'll go. And I'm like the worst one in the group, which I love being the worst one because there's no pressure. And if I lose to these guys, I'm supposed to lose.
Sure.
We're not playing any competition or anything,
Right.
but when I beat one, I'm like, yeah. That's right. But you were there. You golfed with Rob and
yeah. Dude, Rob is insane. this is going to turn into
Blackburn. You've seen him
this
play
is
softball.
This is going to be an after hour. I'm just going to say, okay, here's a nice little. I'm going to edit it up, and I'm like, for those people that really love Full Buddy Cast and just really want to hear what's going on. So I golfed with Rob. Rob is already funny. He's an easygoing guy.
Quiet.
He's you could hit the worst shot, and he's going to go, oh man, sorry, bro, that sucks. But you'll get him next time. He hits one that's like off by like 5 feet from where he wants it. He's like, I can't believe it, man. Like, this is ridiculous, playing like crap right now. But he will go up there. My main thing is my grip. I have to get my grip into place.
What was your word? Bananas?
Oh, pancakes.
Pancakes.
With Mike. We're playing in a tournament. We're playing our friend tournament thing, and him and I are partners. And so beforehand, we played 9. I think we played with
Mike and Travis are the worst pre-shot golfers of all time.
we take forever. We take forever.
It's not even like they take like a couple practice swings.
I don't think
then
any
they're lining
swings.
up their hips, and then they're looking at the ball. Travis stares at the ball longer than the ball's in the air when he hits it.
Right, that's
he
true.
Just sits there and stares at it.
Yeah, because I'm putting all my mechanics together and I'm figuring it out. And I don't take practice swings, but I take some envisioning shots. I Russell Wilson the golf course.
Yes.
And so and it's improved my game. But Mike, if we start overthinking it, then that was like when we do a bad shot. And so we would came up with the word pancakes because we're teammates.
That's their safe word.
It was like
it's like step away from the ball, safe word.
It was like pancakes. Okay, yeah, we'll readjust. We'll go back. We'll take our half hour again. And anyway, I got halfway through. We did it a couple times, not often, but it was like pancakes, and Mike would be like, "Thanks, bro." And I needed that. Okay, I'm back in there, step up, and so I'm all set, and I'm ready to hit. I'm taking my time. I'm not overthinking it, but I'm taking my time, like Kyle says. And I'm like in my backswing, and Mike's like, pancakes, and I'm like, and it was the par 3 that you go over the creek after the long par 5, hole 17, and it went like into the creek. It was like
pancakes.
I'm like, ah! Just sort of like an idiot. But with Rob though, Rob goes up there and he just like he'll look at the ball, he takes his club, and before you know it, he's just like, bam, like he's like his feet are like still together, and he crushes amazing drives, amazing shots. And it's just like, I want to be that guy. I'll be the guy who just walks up there and just, boop, doesn't even think about it, and crushes it.
Well, I'd walk up there and don't think about it. Just don't crush it.
Yeah.
It also helped that Rob golfed in college.
Yeah,
so.
and high school too. Right?
Yeah, he's a really good golfer. And he's totally, if you went out and just watched him step up to the ball, you'd be like, this guy sucks at golf. Until he swings, and you're like, how did you just do that? His feet are literally like this, less than shoulder width apart kind of thing.
Yeah,
and
it goes so far. He's a windmill. I mean, he's just tall as heck, and he's got long length. And wham! How tall is who's the guy known for his drives? He played with Tiger Woods. Played with Tiger Woods on Thanksgiving last year.
Phil Mickelson.
Phil Mickelson. How tall is he? Is he a big?
He's like 6'3".
He just seems like that type of like guy who could just go up there and just crush it. Just like Phil Mickelson.
How tall is Dustin Johnson?
I think he's like 6'5".
I was gonna say he's one of the taller guys, isn't he?
Just
that's all levers.
Just
man.
ripping shots.
Mm-hmm.
What's the big guy's name?
John
Daly. Did you see his interview today?
Daly.
He's a big Trump supporter, and he's like, he goes, Trump's like me and Jesus. We love everyone. That was his quote.
His haircut used to look like he should go on the Raiders.
Oh yeah, he looked like the co-owner. You said, oh yeah, Mark Davis. Yeah. So that's the NBA inside stuff right there. I gotta give a shout out to Starbucks. I said I would on the next episode. The reason why is because we have listeners there. And they will, like Andy Cardenas will drive through, or Joey, or Corinne, and they'll say, "Oh, hey, I just listened to your guys' podcast." And so, big shout out to Cassie Spencer. Cassie Spencer is the one that came to the live. I don't know if you remember that. And,
I do.
But Cassie, they messed up our order. And I told Cassie this. I said, hey, you guys were sweet. You guys were great. I got teenagers who are picky. And we had like this white chocolate mocha that my daughter had ordered. And it was one of those huge ones. Well, it comes out as just chocolate, not white chocolate. So my teenager gets it and she's like, well, this isn't what I wanted. And I'm like, okay. And so I tell them at the drive-thru, I said, hey, and then like, well, we'll take that, or you can keep it and we'll just make another one for you. Just go pull up over there. We did that. So bonus points though for me. Bonus points, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, who's going to drink this? I'm not drinking this giant chocolate friggin' coffee thing. I'm not going to, it's like some frap. Huge. And I'm like, you know who will? The ex-wife. And so I drove it over, free, boom, here you go. Daughter brought it in. Dude, just scoring points over here. So I think that gets me, that at least gets me like, if I forget something or anything, that gets me out of the jail for that one.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but Antonio Brown's about to sign with the Bucks.
We talked about that before you got here.
He's the
You
Bucks.
did.
He's on the Bucks.
What did you think?
As far as like him signing,
I think this is podcast worthy.
he's gonna bring down the value of other teammates.
You think so?
I do.
Well, fantasy football wise, yeah.
Fantasy football wise.
Yeah,
yeah.
Mike Evans is going to drop points, and
I'm glad I
Godwin.
I just
is
traded
going
Godwin,
to.
so yeah, glad I did that.
Did I just rip on? Did I
Just talking
steal
about
your
my
story?
like a very sensitive subject. I opened up about my relationship with my ex-wife and how I bringing this coffee to her, thinking it was like this noble gesture, you know, 2 days before my 5-year anniversary with my new wife. And you're like, hey, did you hear about Antonio Brown and the Bucks?
Sorry. You lost me at Starbucks. I don't drink coffee.
Basically, what he's saying is wasn't that noble, and he shouldn't have got that many points.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to talk about
Take my discarded coffee.
it's the thought that counts.
That's true. That's true. I would have done the same thing.
And
to Gabby,
Antonio
like, I got
Brown,
this.
Antonio Brown is kind of like discarded coffee, and he is going to be over at the Bucks.
You realize what you just said?
What? He's just like a team got rid of him. They didn't want him. Listen, just because coffee might be a certain color doesn't. Not everything is racist.
Wasn't it a white chocolate coffee?
That is, you guys are making me. You guys are the racists on that one. You guys correlated that.
Hold on. That answers my basketball question from before. Remember white chocolate?
Yes.
Jason Williams?
Jason Williams.
There's my exciting guy. That's my answer from
He was, and he was a Sonic for a while too.
That's my answer.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Jason Williams
Yeah.
White chocolate.
wasn't a Sonic.
He was for like the first 2 years.
You like Grizzlies, I know that.
Oh wait, not Jason Williams. Who am I thinking of?
That
You're
left
right.
shrimp?
No. No. Who was the guy that was on the Sonics for like 2 years, and he was just like you thought he was going to be as good
Luke
as
Ridnour.
No. He. I think he was. I think he was mixed. I think they do. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
From Blaine or something. White chocolate. Jason Williams was the point guard, right? That played for Sacramento.
Sacramento and went to the Grizzlies, I think.
Yeah. Who are you?
was like
Jason Williams, like the white. Was like a fair skinned black guy.
Yeah, that guy.
I think
Jason Williams. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I vaguely remember. No, you would not have been.
I don't think it was Jason Williams. No,
White chocolate was white chocolate.
White chocolate.
There's only one
basketball player.
I think it's Jayson.
Yeah, there
Yes.
was another Jason Williams.
Big, strong,
Yes,
buff, big dude.
big dude.
Yeah.
Had some flair.
He's dead, I think.
Yeah, he was
No.
in a car accident.
Yeah.
Gosh, this podcast just gets getting crazier and crazier.
Way to bring up dark things, Jeff.
Jason Williams, born 1968.
He was on the
That's
Nets,
definitely not
yeah.
that guy.
Yeah, it was Scalabrini.
He was. Yeah, he was on the Nets.
He's dead, I think.
Wait a second.
And Craig probably made a joke about it.
Maybe I'm thinking of Mike Bibby. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. All right. Well, I'm going to look at that. Did Jason Williams retire? Signed with Los Angeles. Announced his retirement. Now so you could attempt to return to the NBA. Okay, this is the okay.
If he is, I don't remember making a joke about it.
You make a joke about everybody that dies. You made a joke about that Angel guy that got in a car accident like the day after. You tried to pick him up on fantasy baseball.
Oh, you're a death guy, huh?
So messed up that you tried picking up.
So here's the deal.
It's
Nick.
Oh,
Nick,
that kid from
Nick
the
Adenhart.
Angels. Yeah.
So then the next day, I got on our chat and I go, hey, I can't find this picture, Nick Aidenhart. I can't pick him up. And then I changed my team name to Nick Aidenhart's Ghost.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I know it's bad, but now I just run with it.
Okay, Jokala, no Kyle Pierce's Ghost. That's his next team name.
You're saying he'd have to be dead.
I'm just saying, like, he's no Kyle Pierce's Ghost, because this is the thing.
Am I going to die on my way home tonight?
You are at some point in your life, and your ghost is going to be way better than his.
We're waiting for this moment. We can finally make that name.
Did you read the Courier Herald today? Kyle's obituary said
Craig would. Everyone's like, "Hey, hear about what happened to Kyle?" And like, Craig's like, "What?"
And I already know.
And Craig's on the app, changing the name right then and there. No reaction.
No, I brought up AB because I wanted to, like, did you want him to be a Seahawk?
Not really. I want Josh Gordon to be a Seahawk.
So do I.
That's more.
I was getting frustrated with, like, all the guys were like, why is Russell Wilson? This goes back to, like, the church days in me.
You can go into that room, and there's actually a drain. You can just pee in the drain.
Like, Russell Wilson was trying
Take
to
that
save.
out, please. No, I'm kidding.
Russell Wilson was trying to save
Wanna play
Antonio
swords?
Brown.
Where's the drain at?
On the ground somewhere. Just find it.
Is this like in India bathroom?
Well, he go
Or
outside.
China, or don't they do that in China? Like, just a hole in the ground?
Yes. All right. So tell me about Antonio Brown.
Russell Wilson was trying to save Antonio Brown by bringing him on the team, and like he's friends with Justin Bieber because he thinks he needs to save Justin Bieber, and
Who?
he's trying to Russell Wilson.
No one needs to save. Bieber's saved at this point. He's good. He's back.
Religiously is what I'm saying.
Bieber is full on like.
Yes, he's trying to do that. He tried to do it with Josh Gordon, is what I'm saying,
Oh.
and then he was trying to do it with Antonio Brown. But I don't need the cancer in the locker room.
Dude, I honestly think
I don't think Josh Brown is. I think Antonio Brown is.
We
big
don't
time.
need that.
Did I say Josh Brown?
Yes,
I think
the
all
kicker.
Yeah, I think I think Josh Brown is a cancer. Actually,
Dude, I honestly think all the talk for Antonio Brown, this team, dude, he wants to go play with Brady.
oh yeah, he wants to.
I think he ended up there, and I think honestly he was going to end up there if he was coming back in the league anyway. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah,
but I think
I think it was either him or Russ. I think he was going to pick a quarterback. He wasn't going to go play with Roethlisberger, obviously.
True.
But he's going to play with Brady or Russell. And both of them, I mean, we've got DK and Lockett, and they have Godwin and Evans. So really, it's a tough choice. Why wouldn't you go play for like the Dolphins or somebody who has terrible receivers? The Eagles.
You what? Dude, the Eagles would take him right now.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
They'll
Not
take
even carrying.
They'll take anyone.
Yes, they would.
Did Deshaun get hurt last night?
Yeah, he's out.
ACL?
No, they said They said the MRI came back. It's high ankle sprain, but they said they're putting him on IR, so limited time IR. So.
I don't do good with those kind of injuries, so I didn't even I was like trying not to watch the TV and watch his leg turn the wrong way.
Well, I was actually kind of surprised that there wasn't more said or more happened after, because it was a late hit.
Oh, big time! He was down way.
And
before.
nobody and a lot. I've seen a ton of late hits cause issues.
There wasn't even a flag for it.
Nothing.
It was a flag for the guy that hit him.
But what's funny is none of the Eagles players actually got pissed for it,
right?
Which I thought was really weird because it was a definitely late hit.
Yes, yeah. Which sucks because I like Deshaun Jackson.
I don't know what to call this podcast now. This is the type of podcast though when you're like sitting with your friends Saturday night, whatever.
The kind that you want to do.
Yeah, you want to do. You just yeah, garage night. That's a great.
We sit there and drink and talk for 6 hours.
That's a great.
The 19th hole.
We could move this to the 19th hole. Ooh, let's get him back. Actually, we're calling this the 19th hole, just because he already has something called that. But we're gonna publicize it. This is huge. We're gonna make it ours, and I can get him back for calling me Lenny all those years ago.
Yes, you could. But I don't want to get it confused with the actual 19th hole because I like the 19th hole.
His 19th hole?
Yeah.
Well, I want this to be better than his.
I don't know what we're talking about, but he seems really intent on doing this.
I am. All right. Well, it's my 5-year anniversary tonight. My wife is probably going to murder me. So it was nice having you guys over. You guys can keep talking. You just can't do it here. Yeah. So,
well, I will give her a shout out then. Shout out
to Jamie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Happy anniversary.
See, now we're all good.
5 years.
Yeah.
All right. We're back.
Another hour.
We already hit our checkpoint.
What are you guys going to do?
We're going to Vegas, and we're
that's right.
Yeah, we're flying in. It's her
I thought it was
40th
for, like,
birthday.
her birthday or something.
Yeah, she's turning 40 in November. I'm turning 39 on Sunday. It's crazy.
What,
Well,
what
your
day?
anniversary is right next to your birthday?
23rd. You went to my wedding, right?
I
I know you did, right?
Did I don't think so.
I invited you. It was a Friday. It was in
Where?
Tacoma. It was like, you know who was there? Burrito was the first one there.
Yes, he was.
You were there, right?
I don't think so. But I do remember he was like really proud that he was the first one there.
He was the first one, and the parking was terrible. And I think he was more proud about that.
Where
too.
at in Tacoma?
It was a little chapel on what's that?
South Tacoma.
No, it's the Way. It's where they have like the gosh, all those nice restaurants. Rustin. Yes. It
Why wasn't I there? Was I gone, or when did you get married?
October 23rd.
5 years
today.
ago.
5 years ago. You might have been in Worlds.
Yes, I was just gonna say that. I bet you I was.
You probably were, because I invited all the guys. And anyway, it was a place where we were like, well, let's get married at a court. We'll just get married at a court real quick. And then I was talking to somebody who's like, I did that, and you go in this courtroom, which is fine. No one's there. But you're in a waiting room prior where people are there for their DUIs, and you're getting frisked on the way in. You have to go through a metal detector. Thank you. Get wanded. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds terrible. Mm-hmm. So I spent $300 for a 2-hour reservation for this nice old chapel. It held 50 people. That's all you could do. Got a cake from Safeway and just did it and had fun. And it was quick and easy. It was
I don't think I was invited.
You were invited.
No, we weren't that close back then.
If I'm inviting Burrito, okay, you're on that guest list. I guarantee it. Okay.
We didn't get close until PUBG came out.
PUBG brought us together. PUBG, we shared tears together often. Just those. And now my cousin plays with me PUBG. He loves PUBG. And so we play.
Do you guys play video games still?
I play video games
all the time.
Yeah. I'm still video games, but yeah.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he loves
Oh.
He's trying to get me to play it for so long.
You need to get on it. But here's the thing. We had the best duo. I loved duos with this guy. I was probably his third pick. Like, he'd probably go on and say, oh, is this guy playing? No, he's not playing. Oh, is he out? No. Then he'd get to me. All right, I'll play with Travis. He would go hide. I remember this.
That smile tells me. That smile.
It's true.
No, because
That smile tells me
we
it might
were
be
the
more
only
like
two that
5.
played
No
for.
one played.
We were the only two that played for a long time.
Right.
And if we were the 4 of us that played
Right.
were actually on, we'd all play together anyway.
Well, that's true. And then the one time I pissed off Mike because I ran him over, and then I drove to his house, and I'd actually apologized face to face because like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm good.
You drove in person?
Yes.
Yes.
You know that commercial where the guy answers the text in person? Are you answering my text in person? Yeah.
Do you record
Come on in.
your game and bring it to people and just randomly record his stuff, and then he would come tell me about
Oh,
it? And, like, show me.
I'll post it. Yeah. Oh yeah. I've posted a couple times, but with him,
Football and PUBG. That's all we talked about.
it was our best round. It's like ingrained in my memory. We're in the map you always want to be in. I'm driving around in the buggy. He is in a bush, sitting there with a sniper
In the
rifle.
middle of the circle, too.
Which-
Like
where-
in the
where-
exact center.
He should be getting killed. He is sniping everyone, and all I'm doing is driving around, running over people. But also, they're firing at me. Where then Kyle's like, "Oh, I see where that guy's shooting you at." Bam, kills him. Like, it was like the most intense. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you like want to recreate. It's like a drug where you're like that was the super high. I'm addicted. I want to do this all the time now. And then the rest of the games you just suck. And you end up quitting.
I didn't play PUBG because I was a sniper. That's always like playing that way. And I don't like running and having to actually do shit.
Yeah,
I like hiding.
I'm a first-person shooter, not a third-person shooter.
I love third person. I love it.
You gonna play Cyberpunk
Fallout,
when it comes out?
third person. Oh,
Huh?
You
that's
gonna play
okay.
Cyberpunk when it comes out?
No,
Have you seen
I don't
it?
think so.
It looks pretty
It
awesome.
looks amazing.
What is it?
Cyberpunk 2077. It's a first person. It's who did The Witcher, but it's first person instead of third person.
It's supposed to be out in November.
But that's when Call of Duty comes out.
See, all the Call of Duty.
Freaking Call of Duty every year.
I'm a Battlefield guy, so.
So even Battlefield, we get on these games, we play with them, and I would just go try to hide on the end of the map and just snipe people. That's all I would do.
Mhm.
And then at one point, we would just get on the other side and just try to have the longest.
See, Call of Duty, I played Call of Duty a lot. but then the maps got smaller.
Yeah.
And Battlefield, the maps are larger,
Huge,
which I
yeah.
like.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
I don't want to have to rent
But I
this
don't
money.
play like multiplayer with the, you're in a game like team deathmatch or whatever. I don't play it. We play just the battle royale stuff. Like I got a text from my guy, and I'm gonna get on it in an hour and a half, 9 o'clock.
Well, I got to go because it's my anniversary.
We gave her a shout out that bought us like an hour.
Hey, we list this next week. We'll be super stoked on it.
Okay. What are you doing? You gotta go. You really gotta go?
I do. I got to get going.
Yeah, you probably should.
Yeah,
If
it's
you
like
don't want to have.
it's like 7:30.
Should have.
Yeah, probably an hour ago. If any of us were doing this, we
What
probably
time
would
did
have.
she get home?
Okay, real quick. Scale 1 to 10. Scale of 1 to 10. It's your anniversary. Be honest. How mad is your wife if you're like, hey, I'm going to real quick run over and do a podcast for like an hour and a half to 2 hours? How mad is she? Scale 1 to 10. Go.
Do we already have plans made?
No, it's your anniversary. You might be going
Then
on
a 2.
vacation. 2. Okay.
Yeah, it would depend on if I
You're
was
already
making
going to
up for
Vegas
something.
Sunday.
Yeah, it wouldn't
Yeah.
be that bad. There was one time, remember when I came and played poker on one of our anniversaries?
I play poker. We had people over at my
We went
house
to dinner.
on my anniversary.
We
Playing poker.
We went to dinner, and I was like, "Can I go play poker now?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's cool." And then we faked it. I came in and like I was running from her, like she was chasing me and like trying to find me. And like she came in all pissed off, and I was like hiding in a room. You remember that?
Kyle?
I would have already told you no to the podcast and not even brought it up.
Good answer.
Travis, or Kyle, you want to be on a podcast on your anniversary? No, and I'm not going to bring it up to Gabby either.
Absolutely not.
But
But what are you
it's a
doing,
little
Kyle? Nothing, just sitting at home.
This,
But
Yeah,
on
I wouldn't
anniversary?
even bring it up.
But you've been married how many years?
2.
2, and you have younger kids, right?
Yeah.
It's a little different. I've been
Yeah.
married 19, and we got older kids.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Right. Right.
I'm 5
Well,
years in.
the-
It's our
so
5-year
our-
golden anniversary. and I'm like,
Our first anniversary got blown out of the water because Carter was born.
oh, yeah.
And so we didn't do anything for our first anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
And then this year, we didn't even do anything on our anniversary day because it was her birthday party.
Her birthday party? Oh, for Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Carter's birthday.
Well, you were born, I'm going to guess. here. August. No, September. No, August. I was right. So August 24th.
That's my wedding anniversary.
Okay, that's your. Did I say I was going to guess
No,
Carter's
no.
birthday?
That's where you're going.
Oh,
That's pretty
gosh.
close. Mine's 25th.
Mine's 24th. Her birthday is the 22nd.
Okay. I think that's my
You
brother's.
have to go big at year 5.
Right. Yeah. So this year, we missed our actual anniversary. I don't think we've ever bought anything for each other on our anniversary yet.
Dude, August 24th. Pretty cool. Like, no one thinks that's amazing that I know this guy's anniversary.
You guys are close friends. Why?
That was the PUBG time.
Yeah, it was PUBG time. I almost was in it.
Almost made the wedding.
As he was snagging people, you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
And let me just tell you this: the Greg was at the Greg level of the of
His
groomsmen.
Gregness.
He was
was at
almost-
the lowest level of his
He was,
Gregness.
he was the last place groomsman. He was almost out. I was almost shuffled in.
Yeah.
I
So
was
you
ready.
weren't in?
No.
So I don't know if you listen or not. A couple times ago, he wanted us to say if we had to redo our wedding, name the 5 people that would be in it now.
Yeah.
He wanted to try to be in our
Yeah.
weddings.
Yeah. Mine was just a couple years ago, so it would probably been the same.
Probably the
people.
same people.
No, actually, yeah, it probably would have.
It would be
You might get
5. You had 6 groomsmen, 7.
I had way too many.
You were
Yeah.
at that reserve call still, though.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm on reserve, bro.
It was Burrito, Mike, TB, Kellen,
Hips,
Hips,
B. Can't say it.
yep, RB,
But, yeah.
and then Greg, and then Kyle.
Oh yeah. I would have easily made it, except
Mm-hmm.
for freaking. You gotta have brothers and stuff, man.
Somebody doesn't, do they?
Was he your best man though? No, he was
No.
not.
Well, here's the age old question. I didn't mind having Kyle in it, but I just had like 8 guys. My sister was obviously in my wedding on Gabby's side,
I'm
and
gonna
my
get divorced
brother-in-law
at the end
got
of this
pissed
thing.
that he wasn't in it. Like on my side, I'm like, you're my brother-in-law though. Like, if Gabby had a brother, then her brother would be in it.
Right.
But you're my brother-in-law, so why are you in the wedding? You're not related to either of us by
Well,
blood. Like
it's-
a blood thing is when you're in the wedding.
was your sister in it though?
yeah,
Yeah. So then,
But it's-
did they walk down together?
Kyle and Kaya?
Yeah. Was she?
No,
Did she write?
Burrito wanted Kaya.
Oh, I'm sure. Was she the bridesmaid? No, she wasn't.
No.
Oh wait, no, Burrito wasn't the groomsman either.
Yeah,
or he wasn't the
Burrito
best
was the
man.
best man. He walked down with Rebecca.
Oh, I see. Wait.
I agree with that though, because I felt weird. I was in a wedding where I was the brother-in-law, and they put me in the wedding.
Yeah,
And
right.
weird
I felt
being
like
in
it
the
should
wedding.
only be blood. Kay is my blood. If
Unless
she
you're
had a blood
su-
relative,
Unless
brother
you're
or sister, then-
super tight. If you're super tight,
but we're not.
That's what I'm saying.
Me and Kyle aren't.
And they gave me a skull cap to wear too, because they were all like kind of biker guys, and I was like, cool.
Were you in his wedding? Best man?
But I was 16, so
Oh.
I wasn't like I didn't.
Yeah, we had this conversation. You just listen to the podcast for once in a while, Kyle.
Were you the best man?
Yes.
Yeah, but I didn't do any of the best man stuff.
And he was the best man, and vice versa. It happens. Yes, we had this
Yeah.
conversation. I wasn't the best man. You know what, though? My first marriage failed.
Best speech.
Mine.
Yeah.
Easily, by far, crushed it. Now, not saying that the other one wasn't good. It was a good speech.
But there's a reason you did that.
Oh, I wanted to absolutely murder I wanted to murder. But my brother was the best man at my first marriage. It failed. So I blame him. So he was not the best man at my second one.
Oh, he wasn't.
No. So I think he got me back now that I think about it.
That's dumb.
It's brother
Don't
stuff.
harbor ill will towards people.
It builds up.
It does build up, though.
Corn Pops comes out.
Yeah. But that's over dumb stuff like fantasy
AK.
football.
Angry
What
Cow.
was it?
Lyle.
What was the other thing? AK Piss? Sounds like a DJ name.
Pissed.
AK
Pissed.
AK pissed.
AK Pissed.
Now DJing tonight.
Would be a great, might be a good
Super
gamer
angry, hitting all
tag.
the buttons.
Pissed AK.
Pissed AK. Because that is a good first person shooter name too.
Mhm.
That you're just a pissed A.
I watch way too many streamers to ever want to ever stream. Actually, I kind of want to stream.
I kind of want to stream too. I want to get an FBC streamer going.
Have you
But
seen
I don't know how to do
Among
it.
Us thing that is streaming
Oh,
right
I've been
now?
playing Among Us.
Have you played it?
I
Yes.
downloaded it and never played it.
But here's the thing. Mike and my kids are super into it. They're like, it's just like Mafia, and I love Mafia, the card game where you try to guess who's the okay. This one, it just doesn't hold my attention. Like it's just like you get killed within 2 minutes, and you're like, this is fun. I don't get it.
I wonder if it depends on the group you're playing with.
I think
Do you
it's
play it?
Is that the one where you have to like figure out who did it, who
Yes.
killed the people?
Popped up and I started watching it, and I don't know why. I just kept watching
and
it.
the teenagers are
Went
loving
down
it.
like a rabbit hole
Dude, it's
watching
blowing
it.
up right now.
Really?
Teenagers are loving it.
Yeah, I watch.
Is that it?
I don't know how he got
Yes.
famous. His name's
Did you get a victory?
Yeah.
Nice job.
He's like, he got
Yeah.
famous streaming him. I was like, I
Yeah.
started watching it.
Yeah.
I was
I was actually. I would have never known that name until today. I was Googling who's the most popular like Facebook streamers or who's the most popular because I think the guys that I watch two guys,
Right.
and they're really good,
Glad that you watched
but
video
they're not
games.
even in the top 30 most popular on Facebook for Call of Duty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
there's a ton of people out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's one I caught on because when you watch something, it gives you other ones.
You got to speak way. That camera.
Are
That,
we even recording?
yes.
Oh, I didn't know we're still doing
This is like gold. This is like gold right now, but it's gonna be like you were in a closet down the hallway.
Hey guys, I'm still out taking a bath, going to the bathroom.
I really like that gamer thing you guys got going on over there.
When you watch a video, they like suggest other streamers and other guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many guys out there streaming. There's have you seen the trucking ones where they do the actual trucking and they do the long haul trucking video game?
There's a long haul trucker.
Yeah,
I might be into this.
And
thing.
for some reason, I love watching it. Yeah. It's just a dude sitting there on camera, like driving a fake truck. And I'm sitting there watching it going, I don't know why I'm interested in this, and I'm still watching it.
Here's why. Here's my theory, okay? The big things now are watching people play video games and also open like mystery boxes where they don't know what's in there and they pull all this stuff out. It's because we were the poor, I don't know about you guys, Selleck. I was the poor generation. You were used to going to someone else's birthday party and watching them open presents or going to the next door neighbor's house and waiting for your turn to play, and you would just watch them play video games and play the dying game and like, this guy's good and you're never going to play the game.
I think the part of weird for me is that like I'm not even watching somebody play like a video game that I normally play. You're literally watching a dude back up into a warehouse and deliver a truck. Like that's all he's doing. But I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, what's going on right now?
Yeah, it shows the screen that he's watching of him driving a truck.
I've watched the streamer.
But it's the weirdest thing to me because I've done the same thing. Like, I would never play this game, but why am I interested in watching this guy do it? And he's just talking. I watched one that drove a public transportation like he was driving a bus. He was like, I gotta pull over at the bus stop and pick the people up, and people would get on the bus. I'm like, what is going on? Why is this interesting?
Taxi cab confessions. You're like, what? Hey, I remember staying up late watching that.
And I'm like, what? He starts talking about his setup, and I'm like, oh, that seems interesting. I wonder how much that costs. I wonder what we do to do this. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing this.
So what's your console of choice? What do you play? You say you play video games. What is it?
I have both a PS4 and an Xbox right now because I play, like, everybody else has Xboxes. So if I play online with people, I play Xbox.
Right.
And when I play solo, I prefer PS4.
Okay.
Yeah, Xbox.
Xbox strictly.
Yeah.
Me
Strictly
too.
Xbox.
I used to be PS2. I love PS2, but then when PS2 didn't do the reverse compatible when they were doing PS3s, I was like, I am out on this.
Oh gosh, I wish Xbox was reverse compatible because I'd be playing some NCAA 14. I'm so mad they don't have a college football game.
Yeah.
Football games where they take a hamstring and you'd be running with a hamstring. You still ran 90 yards. Let me ask you, are you buying the new Xbox then, I imagine? Everybody's buying Xbox over the PS5?
My daughter got a job. She's working at the Rainier. Shout out to the Rainier. And she's like she's making real money for her. Like, it's like every 2 weeks, $300. And she's like, boom, putting it away. I'm like, what, are you in a car? Are you going to do anything? Like, Xbox, new Xbox. I'm like, oh, okay. Don't you want to learn how to drive? She's like, new Xbox. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. She wants to just put it all into
I can
that.
learn how to drive on a simulator if I play this video game.
Which I'm purchasing as well. What about you? What's your game console?
I'm all Xbox. I don't understand triangle, circle, X.
It's
It's the same button setup as an Xbox.
I will always. I actually catch myself because I played the PS2 where I'll be like, hit triangle. Like I'm playing like with my buddy. I'm like, hit triangle, and he's like, this doesn't have a triangle. It's an Xbox.
Y.
Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, hit Y, hit Y.
I get the feel for where it is. It's the same exact thing.
I think I had a PS2 for a while, and then I wouldn't do good, so I'd blame the controller. So then I never went back to PS.
He does have video game anger.
I do. I get a little bit. But I will say this: the controller I have now, I have had for a long time.
Oh, I
And-
break mine like
Yes.
every 2 weeks
Yes.
or every 2 months. I have to get a new one every 2 months.
I was strictly PlayStation until the Xbox 360 came out, and then that's when I switched.
To the
Mainly
Switch.
because-
Nintendo?
No, mainly because Mike had Call of Duty, and I would always just sit and watch him play,
Yeah.
and so I bought it.
Oh, so you drove over to his house too?
I would be
For other reasons.
Mike and I had a day at his house where we played. What's the
GTA?
no?
Tony Hawk.
Gosh, it's a third-person shooter, first-person shooter, third-person shooter. Maybe.
Sniper skill?
No, but it was a 2-player game, and it was like you would both
Split
be
screen?
in the campaign. Yes, split screen. We were both in the campaign together, and we played it for 14 hours straight at his house on a
You were
Saturday.
just
and
South
beat
Park
the game,
pooping
beat the game. I got to find out what game it is.
Can you do that? Do you play games where you could like play for 14 hours?
That's how I was with the Fallouts. I could absolutely, and this is not the new Fallouts. I'm talking Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4. Just absolutely like go to bed at like 1 a.m., wake up and play at 5 a.m.
If you
nonstop.
spend a lot of time in Fallout 4, you will spend a lot of time in Cyberpunk.
Oh,
Because
really?
it's a first-person open world.
I love
just
exploring,
everywhere,
finding
yeah.
things, opening up little freaking toolboxes. Oh, look, I got a freaking legendary, or battling a legendary.
It was the same like the Elder Scrolls series.
Gosh, I love it. Oh,
Gears of War.
Oh yeah.
Gears of War. I remember Gears of War.
Dude, I've did that numerous times where you're like up midnight, 1 o'clock. Oh, I'm getting tired. Go to bed. Wake up at like 5. Get back on, just playing again. I was huge. I'm huge. I love Crackdown games. I don't know if you guys played Crackdown at all, but I'm really big into Borderlands. Like I love Borderlands, and
My kids are too.
yeah, and I could play I have played those for 12, 14 hours, and I've played with other people that long.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
So-
the only reason I have Xbox Live right now is because we Xbox shared, so I could get the Borderlands 3 game and then we were playing that for a while.
What is Borderlands? Sounds like something I could get into.
Yeah, Borderlands
awesome.
is it's a first person shooter,
Yeah.
and you're in like almost like Mad Max.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
but it's a little more cartoony. It's not as okay, and but-
Fortnite-ish.
not that cartoony. But it's not where you're battling other people. It's a campaign. You probably do have I mean, I remember it was kind of like Red Dead Redemption in a sense, and then they all had that zombie. Ooh, that was good. But the my kids are into it like crazy.
You can
But
multiplayer
it's-
campaign it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we did Gears of War. Like
Yeah,
an entire
it's the
Yeah.
same type of thing.
More than 2 people though.
You can do up to 4.
Leroy
we've had-
Jenkins it.
It's awesome.
But the one that I really liked it was like Mad Max. Actually, Madden bought me Mad Max for Xbox when it came out, and I absolutely didn't play it. And she bought it me for Father's Day, and now she won't buy me another Father's Day gift because like 5 years ago I was like, oh, this is sweet. I love Mad Max, but I'm like, I got Madden and Fallout, and I cannot take either of these away from me.
Travis is such a gamer that he bought me an Xbox gift card for my daughter's birthday.
I did in August. I'm like, here, she's getting stuff. Why don't you just use something for yourself? Or if you want to buy a movie for her, buy a movie for her. But what was the one that was kind of like Borderlands? It was one word. It was like Steam, or it was like it's like Psycho, or it was like something where Raid.
Rage?
Yeah,
Yeah, Rage 2 they're supposed to put out.
Yeah, have they put that out yet? Dude, when Rage came out, I was like, this is what I want to
I remember seeing trailers for Rage 2, but I don't know if it actually came out yet or not.
Dude, Kyle's going to have to be like, Gabby, guess what? Got you 2 weeks. You're going to be staying in this nice resort. You're going to get pampered, okay? Kids, Carter's going to stay with my parents for a few nights, your parents for a few nights. She's like, oh, this sounds so great. I can't wait. Thanks, Kyle. We need to get away. No. You're getting away. I need to play like 12 video games that have been recommended by Travis.
There's a lineup. It's going to take me a while.
Well, like nightly, as soon as dinner's done and we've hung out for a little bit and the baby goes in the bath, Dad goes straight to the game room and it's Call of Duty from like 8 to 10:30.
This guy hid me. So I can't see when he gets on anymore.
Oh, I do appear offline.
Yeah, he appears offline.
He does
Yeah.
it. It bugs me.
Yeah. Well, so it's like I don't know if he's on or not. I'm gonna text him.
Sometimes when I'm playing by myself or I'm doing a solo campaign, I don't want to be bothered with other people jumping in. So I turn myself
See,
off.
I'm annoying. Well, to a certain point.
Yeah, I know you are.
But if somebody doesn't want to play with me, but they're online, and I got nothing else to do, I still send them a thing so we can chat, even though we're playing different games.
Right. I like that. Except I like that.
Like,
I like
see
that
him
when
all
I'm
the
playing
time.
Madden or PGA or something like that. But if I'm playing a shooter where I need to hear footsteps around me, I'm like, shut up. Don't talk for 5 minutes. It's like the final 5 right now. Don't talk. And
Meanwhile, Jacqueline's in the background.
yeah, just screaming, yelling. But my wife, so for our 5-year anniversary,
Which is today.
which is today,
You're doing a podcast.
Podcast
and
ended like an hour and a half ago.
and it's my birthday, obviously, anniversary's name. So she bought me a new controller. She just texted me. What's going on? I got that text. All right, so we need to
'cause
leave
you
soon.
texted her a little bit,
But
like-
for my anniversary, she got me a headset as well, a new headset. I've broken 2 headsets.
What kind?
It's those Turtle Beach, just full on 360, $200 buy whatever ones.
I need to get some more.
So
You
Do you use Turtle Beach? Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't had one. Yeah,
I'd
I
wait.
need to wait till I get
You
my
need to
new
wait
one.
to see if you get the new Xbox. I don't know if they're compatible or not.
Really?
With the new ones, I don't know what they're.
I need a new set though. They're pretty old. They get that static every once in a while now.
If they're gonna chase
They-
the money, they're gonna make them not compatible with the controllers.
crazy thing. I'm flying to Vegas, and I'm like thinking I only have like maybe 2 episodes to edit, and I'm like, I mean, I like editing. It kills the time on the flight. I get to listen to everything again, laugh and revisit everything, take notes. this is going to take up the flight there and back. Like, I'm stoked on it right now. Like, low-key, like, sweet, I got stuff I can do now.
You're welcome.
What else would you randomly like to do?
And this could be every Friday in Garage Night.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to whatever episode this may be. This may be a 10-parter. I don't know. But we did go 2 hours strong.
This is the Kyle Pierce docuseries now. It's going to be a 10-part docuseries.
Thanks to Kyle for coming out. Thanks for Craig and Corey. And thanks for Mike that we can talk about you a bit and all the other friends out there. And Burrito, please stay for one more season. You got to get through this first season. Stay for the second season. This is Garage Night. This might be the new this might be when I said I don't know what to name your guys' podcast. It might just be Garage Night. And then we'll get a softball one going in the summer. We'll bring on the guys that we talked about. And anyway, hit up Cole Street Brewery, hit up Mazatlan, hit up Bordeaux Wine Bar, mention the podcast, get treated like a VIP in any of those areas, and get some money off your food and drink. Thanks so much. Have a great day, and talk to you whenever. Bye.